Yeah, this is the first half, not gonna lie.
Ooh, Chris Page is logged in.
Yeah, a
Tell him to
lot of us are trying to
log out.
fucking rush our Warfare RPs.
Wait, is the
Yep.
deadline today?
Deadline
Yeah.
is today,
Are you
top deadline.
kidding me? Fox.
We're fucking Gator over.
Oh no.
We're fucking me over too, goddamn.
Oh
Okay,
shit.
both of you, I have to write in the main event. Like,
This is
We're
beautiful.
trying to become the number one contender for the title. You're trying to win, so fuck you.
Oh my god. I didn't know it was tonight. I thought I had another day. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Now you know why I'm trying to fucking write my RP in the middle of this.
I hope you guys are ready for the most sleep deprived Dick Powers RP yet.
you should have it be Groundhog Dick, and it's like every day he wakes up, even if he dies.
That's
I
in
love this.
February.
It's actually
Yeah.
a good idea.
To be fair though, I do write my best stuff when I'm sleep deprived, like that Theo Vinny RP where I just took the piss out of him. So,
That's pretty
Honestly,
good.
that's usually the best stuff for everybody when you're just saying fuck it and
yeah.
just winging it and cracking yourself up the whole time. Those are the
Just-
things that everybody likes.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
throw something at the wall and force it to stick.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, have a holly jolly Christmas. It is that time once again when the jolly fat man dressed in red, actually tonight in blue and green, takes you to the holidays. It's the XWF podcast with Santa Claus himself, me, Loverboy Vinny Lane, and my three little itty bitty elves. Gator from England. Say hello, Gator.
Hello. Happy holidays.
Yeah, they don't actually celebrate Christmas in England. They do something else. At least that's what I heard.
Yeah, we celebrate pre-Boxing Day.
Pre-Boxing Day. Yeah, it's a long tradition. It goes back to the Tudors or something.
Yeah.
We've also got Maverick, or as he's been recently known as the Imperial Japanese Dragon, Fing Fang Kuhn. How you doing, Maverick?
I'm doing good. Happy holidays, everyone. Hopefully you enjoy this little surprise podcast episode.
They will not. They will not, and we will make sure of it.
Damn. All right.
And of course, the guy who killed Harambe, Notorious Ned K.
Cut all of Vinny's like intro for this podcast. Like this one, can we do it? Like I feel like a line has been crossed. Anyway, down in Texas, the holiday tradition of shining their spittoon runs strong. So
You live in Texas?
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, fuck you then.
Totally fair response.
You're so much of the problem.
No, I agree. It's like fucking Texas and Florida are just fucking pits of evil, and with little bits of blue sprinkled in.
You better be careful what you say, Ned. Otherwise, the elusive Florida man will be coming to track you down.
It's
No,
okay.
I
That's me.
Yeah, he lives in New Jersey now, so it's fine.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
moved a lot further away. That's actually my license plate. My New Jersey license plate says Florida man on it. So it always gets a good reaction.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and now I can get doxxed. Now I told you my license plate, so I'm gonna get Elon to ban all of you.
Okay.
I told you.
Wild.
You fuck with me, you dox me. No way.
I didn't kill Harambe. I did no such things.
The Poets went
No.
ban. You will really just be a secret tactic trying to unveil bots.
Well, I'm gonna put a
Don't
poll up.
worry.
I'm gonna put a poll up on Twitter later on, and we'll see if the people on Twitter think Ned K killed Harambe.
No, we will not. No, we will not. No,
And we will abide by
no,
this
no.
poll.
Oh god.
Say your prayers, Ned.
I don't believe in any gods.
I'm just gonna do that right now.
Oh, fucking hell.
Maybe,
Okay, what are we talking about tonight, Maverick?
Well, we've got a nice list of things to go down. We have the recent Anarchy results. We have the Saturday Night Solstice results too, and we have two fancy little cards for us to go through between the upcoming Madness show, and of course, the final ever Warfare happening on Wednesday night. It's going to be a really jam-packed episode with a bit of a holiday spirit, so hopefully you guys will be staying tuned. So do you want to start us off by going through the Anarchy results, Lane?
Yeah, we can do Anarchy first. I don't know if that's chronologically the proper thing. But let me just double check here. So Anarchy, the most recent Anarchy came. This was December 8th.
Yes.
And this was from the East Link Center in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, as the Anarchy Blue brand forays up into the Great White North. We had a nice, appropriate opening because they don't actually have pyrotechnics in Canada. It's weird. So Vinny brought some with him. He had the Cambot drones form into the shape of a moose in midair. So that was a real solemn and respectful demonstration of love for the northern neighbor.
Of course.
I thought that was touching, because they don't have independence. They still have the Queen on their money, so they don't have any reason for fireworks. And that's what I'm sticking to, and I don't care what James Raven says. I'm correct. I know more about Canada than he does.
Damn.
So we start out, as always, with the drones swirling around the arena. We have people with signs standing up in there. One of the signs says 4-time A, 4-time A, 4-time A, 4-time A, because Canada. Get it?
A.
That's more.
One of them says 150 matches, 149 technicals. A little inside baseball for you. The next sign says, I made an Edward sign, but he can't read. And after that is, Afria Adler liked my tweet. So some good signs. We have great fans out there. We got right into it. I know everybody was waiting for this opening match. We went into it a little bit last time we got together and discussed the card. But this is Leviathan versus Squiggly the Clown.
Yeah.
And neither one of them showed up. So on the way to the ring, they got taken out by Cletus.
Yeah.
So Cletus he showed up and just beat people down with a snow shovel again, because Canada. Yeah, it was pretty dope. He beat everybody up and then he left. And Vinny and Bama didn't really know what to do with it. So we went into a segment. Jason Cashe hanging out with Theo Price in his office, discussing some stuff. Josh Spencer, his smoke show girlfriend, who really, really likes popcorn. She was there as well.
Mm.
And then we went into Afria Adler taking on Gina Van Ziel in a submission match. And, this was probably unfair because Afria Adler is a submission wrestler and Gina Van Ziel is not. But we don't try to be fair. We try to challenge people.
We're just, here at the XWF, a beloved athletic institution, we don't try to be fair.
Yeah, you'll never grow if you don't try to expand your horizons. You know what I'm saying?
To the XWF, fairness is for cowards, apparently.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you book people outside of their little mind box, they excel. They break through the barriers and they do better.
Well,
that did not happen here. That did not happen here. Afria Adler won the match.
I was about to ask, yeah.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
I expect nothing less from the same company that jobbed out Squiggly the Clown.
Squiggly screwed Squiggly. Okay, let's just settle that right now. We were rooting for Squiggly. We were all rooting for Squiggly.
The old Prince Edward Island screw job, eh?
That's right. That's right.
Squiggle job.
So true.
As a matter of fact, every time Anarchy goes to Prince Edward Island, somebody gets screwed over.
You can almost say it's a bit of a snow job.
That's right. It's yeah, nice tie-in. Look at that.
Hey.
And for the folks listening at home, Maverick has no idea what snow job is a euphemism of.
Maybe one day I'll find out.
He has never heard of or experienced one.
A snow job. It's probably because he doesn't have a front yard.
Anyway, so the next match we moved on to another of the podcast favorite, member of the Optimal Path or whatever Mark Flynn's thing is, quote unquote, the Jessica Anderson, taking on newcomer to the brand, Major Jung. I don't know what you guys think of Major Jung. He's a interesting character. I read his promo. It's kind of interesting, a little weird. I I dig weird though, and it was enough to get it done here. He wins by pinfall, taking out the Jess Anderson.
Mm.
And we had a little video segment after that, and hey, yeah, where were you? There it was.
It was a very cryptic video segment.
I wonder who it could be from.
Clearly not Chris Chaos.
Clearly.
Clearly. Oh, that's would have been dope playing.
Oh, fuck.
You're not wrong.
No,
I'm still mad.
I don't want to think about dope.
It's still living rent free in your head.
Yeah.
I think that's the only place dope can afford to live.
I'm gonna turn that off because it's several minutes long. It's several minutes long. I can only get so erect, so I'm gonna cut that off.
Holy fuck.
I'll put a clip of it in the podcast. Don't worry.
Good.
When I needed help, I had to do it by myself. When I needed encouragement, I had to look in the mirror and say to myself, you are worth it. Your life means something. You are beautiful.
Pop that up. Good. Die, motherfucker, die. So we moved on to a last man standing match between Lord Raab and Jason Cashe. Good friends, better enemies. They went at it here. This is a good match. I don't remember. This was written. Charlie Nickles wrote this match. He did a good job. So good job, Charlie. Thank you for a decent match here. Jason Cashe comes out on top here. I don't think that feud's anywhere near over. Those guys have been going at it since before either one of them was in the XWF. So that's a fun one.
Of course.
And we had a follow-up seg there, Cashe and Bam Miller now, in following up on the backstage segment from earlier. So some good stuff. Check that out. I'm not going to read it all to you right now because that would be silly. We moved on to HGH taking on Mastermind. So this is a cool one because Mastermind, this is, as you may have heard, this is Mastermind's 150th match. I think we said 250 on the last podcast.
That was a mistake by me.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you were a mistake by your parents.
we both roasted myself at the same time, so goddamn.
Oh, we
Sorry, you're right. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. I'm sorry.
We blew up Mastermind's numbers like a Goldberg house show wins. So.
We really did.
So true. True.
We just threw on like 6 more years of matches.
I heard this next match is going to be Mastermind's 347.
Oh.
Anyway,
you know
Maverick. What? I thought you were telling the match, Maverick. I forgot Vinny does Anarchy.
Jesus Christ.
How did I get people? Like, all I wanted was to do a podcast, and I just picked people who can't do it.
Well, thanks. Anyway, Vinny, tell us all about Mastermind's 474th match.
Shout out to Chris Page and TNGB. I miss you guys. I need you. Look at what I'm working with.
Oh, eat shit. I was on that podcast, too.
And you dragged him
that's all
down,
right, brother.
too.
Let me see if I can do it. Tell it to me, brother. Chat me up, brother. How'd the match go?
Oh, my Lord! Oh, that felt vulgar. That felt dirty. Never do that again.
Lane, do it again.
I loved
No!
it.
That's all right.
It made me feel at
It was
home.
pretty.
It's nostalgic, like a warm cup of cocoa.
Yeah.
True.
Nothing quite like one man doing another man's voice for Christmas.
Whoa! Oh, his voice.
Okay.
Okay.
Made me feel like I was producing Fireside again.
Well, I'm here today with Gator. Did I ever tell you that I am a Southern gentleman? What? No.
I don't believe you have.
I had no idea.
Is that me? Is that me?
Oh no!
He's the Christmas episode just going to be Vinny Lane doing a fireside chat where fucking Kido tells Chris Page about his song about an octopus. Is that going to be what our Christmas episode is?
That's right.
Maybe. I mean, you're giving him ideas, so who knows?
Perhaps we could all get in my lovely yellow submarine.
I've got 8 arms to hold you, ain't I?
Do. There's a winner right there, I tell you. Where did everybody go?
Okay. How did the
Anyway, Mastermind won the match. Mastermind won his match. He won his match number 150. Fantastic showing by the former Anarchy champion, and one of the oldest old heads in the XWF. So he still got it, folks. There's a little bit of magic left in that old cloth hat they found.
Well, that's Johnny again.
I love the idea that you put the Undertaker's hat on a snowman and it becomes Mastermind.
Can the thumbnail for this podcast be like Frosty the Snowman, but like how they'll have like the Undertaker's hat?
Yeah,
photoshopped on top?
you got it 100%. Just come to life. It's like, you guys think you know me, but you really don't.
Oh my god!
Followed by just a dozen clotheslines and then a sleeper hold.
Just a clothesline, slowly people. Adele played in the background.
Holy shit.
We're gonna be rolling in the deep end this
Why do you
race.
have to remind me of the Adele promo? He won that match too. Oh no, he came in second.
No, he came in second, yeah.
That Adele promo was good enough for second, and that is a shame. Shame on everybody else for allowing an Adele promo to come in second.
Oh, God.
Anyway, the main event had a returning Latina submission Machina, herself a multiple-time former Anarchy champion, against the brand new and fourth-time Anarchy champion herself, Ruby, taking on JB and Tommy Wish, the Thugs, the baddest men to ever grace the Anarchy stage. So this was a fun one. I know everybody was really curious about how Ruby was going to make her entrance this way, because as we all know, if you don't give me an entrance, I'm just going to make some shit up. So this time, Ruby bungee jumped through a hole in the top. Everybody thought it was great.
Oh fuck!
I feel like I should click on this, and I don't know if I want to. Oh, that's sexy. That's sexy. He looks that looks like a snowman from New Zealand.
I'm gonna have to
Does it snow in New Zealand?
I think in like the Northern Ireland it does.
Is it Kiwi?
We'll have to ask. We'll have to ask Alias.
Well, yeah, he knows more. It's hilarious to me that he knows more about New Zealand than Mastermind does.
Alias, if you're listening, hit us up. We need some information about the weather patterns of New Zealand. And we can't ask Mastermind for obvious reasons. Anyway, Ruby and LSM won. It was a nice match, real solid one, that one. Pretty sure I wrote it, but I don't remember.
Actually, I wrote it. I think.
Oh, well, great job.
Thank you.
Vinny doing what a lot of CEOs will do and just claiming the work of one of his underlings.
Well, I will say, I do own this website, so I own all of your shit.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's just the law. That's the law.
It's in the small
So
print.
you just deal with that.
I don't think that's how it works.
It absolutely does.
Can I just ask, what's up with the pairing of Ruby and LSM?
Well, I think they just fit well. They've worked well in the past. LSM, you never really... It's kind of like a tweener role anyway. And I don't know, I kind of think of her almost like a Mexican kind of superhero. They're both LFL players. Latina Submission Machina is a quarterback for Vinny Lane's LFL football team, the Tenochtitlan Quetzalcoatl. Whereas Ruby is playing for Centurion Santa Fe Cerbals out of New Mexico. Boo. So, I mean, it just made sense. And then I wanted something, a way for LSM to come back in a premier spot. And tagging with the champ is a great way to do it. And you never know. I figured it could either go one of two ways. It could set off a feud between them, or it could, start off a good pairing, good friendship, and maybe later on, because LSM's an obvious contender for the gold as well.
Of course. Let's see how that evolves.
Yeah. Yeah, but they worked well together this time. There was no issue. They had a real nice collab promo, and overcame the thugs. And we know that the thugs are nothing to sneeze at. So,
Of course. So, with Anarchy out of the way, I believe now it is time for us to head over to not Saturday Night Savage, but the last ever Savage show is in fact called Saturday Night Solstice, the Christmas-themed episode coming to you live from the Santa's Village Amusement Park in Jefferson, New Hampshire. So,
hold
we have
on,
Oh?
one moment now, Maverick. Don't get too big for your breeches, because
I?
there is the upcoming Anarchy that happens this week.
Oh, thank you for
And
reminding me.
this is the Yuletide Anarchy. I made that graphic by myself, and I hope you like it.
You did a great job.
Gator, put up the graphic on screen.
But yep, I'm going to. I'm trying not to vomit while I'm looking at it.
Those are candy canes. You don't like candy canes?
I love candy canes. What I don't like is badly cropped black backgrounds.
Wow. Okay.
You could have just straight up just asked me for the PNG, but it's okay. It's fine.
Now, Gator, future Gator, put Frosty the Snowman behind the Solstice logo.
Stop telling him what to do, like you own him.
He does it all the time. He bullies me into editing.
You went on a rant about how you own all of my shit. Fuck off.
That's true. But you don't own Gator. He's not even American. You got to go through customs first.
Every Dick Powers promo spends extra time getting past TSA.
Anyway, this is coming to you from the North Pole, which is technically and legally part of Canada. And it is the Bing Bong Twins. That is Ned K's favorite tag team, the pairing of MC, Sea Monkey Bath Salts, and his twin brother, Little Cash App Young Dollar Billionaires, taking on Santa Claus.
What an epic match for the ages.
Yeah, and I saw the twins, the Bing Bong Twins, talk some shit about Ned K on Twitter. And it made it sound like they were going to show up on Solstice. So we'll have to get back to Maverick here and see what happened.
Ooh, yes, I think I'll be sure to say when that segment's coming up. But yes, speaking of Solstice, as I said, coming to you from the Santa's Village Amusement Park in Jefferson, New Hampshire, we have a very massive card on tap here because it was essentially a mini pay-per-view in of itself. We had multiple titles being defended. Dr. DeVille made his long-awaited return. Chris Page came back in one-on-one action too. I mean, it was definitely a can't-miss show. And we're going to go through it all right now, starting with a segment to open the show together as Santa Claus himself, maybe getting ready for his Yuletide Anarchy appearance, appears at Santa's Village and just starts giving some children some presents. But he gets knocked out from behind by none other than Peter Vaughn, and apparently still hung up over not getting a Tamagotchi for Christmas that one year. So poor Peter. But as the children cry, he instead changes course and reveals to them that it is not the real Santa Claus. He rips off his fake beard, and the children realize this, and angry that they've been tricked, they decide to jump Santa Claus instead as Peter walks off satisfied. So smug bastard he is.
It wasn't a gorilla.
It was not a gorilla, no.
It would have been different, we've seen gorilla suits with people inside, but we have not seen a people suit with a gorilla inside. So that would have been a cool twist.
It could have been a cool twist, but maybe that'll have to come later.
Yeah. So somebody will have to do that.
So we go over into the first match. It's Major Jung versus Jacki Leonard in a flying school match. So we went over the stipulations on the last podcast episode, so we'll just go. Yes, it takes place on the Little L flying school ride. Like that ride with like the.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what I thought. I remember us talking about it, but when you say a flying school, I don't know. It just completely took me out of my mind, and I didn't know what the hell we were talking about.
I get you. Don't worry. But yes. So it's a real Christmas-themed ride here tonight. It's a short and sweet match, but I made up for it because it was definitely gave a bit of a shock, put it that way, as Jacki O'Lantern managed to counter Major Jung's initial offense and tried to follow up with a running attack, but Jung sidestepped it and pushed her right into the control panel where she got electrocuted. So definitely a major scare there. But Jacki really just got angry from it, and the ride started because of her running into the control panel. And Jung was getting hammered to death by all those flying planes going at him. That allowed Jacki to pick up the quick win. So definitely a neat little match there.
Man, Major Young dropping the ball on the final Savage of, well, not just of the year, but ever. So he's 1 for 1. He had a win on Anarchy and did not win here on Solstice. So good job, Jacki O'Lantern. She's coming on strong at the end of the year.
She is. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Big deal.
Now then, so we go over to backstage and we see Jenny Myst with her Extreme Championship. She leaves behind as she's looking for some food, some pancakes, maybe some Swiss Miss, but she does not want to see eggnog. No eggnog. So she walks off, leaving the title behind. And who would be coming in and seeing the title? None other than Goth. And he proclaims how Santa has left him the perfect Christmas gift. And he takes the Extreme Championship for himself and runs off.
Now stolen the Extreme Championship at the behest of one Santa Claus.
Goth, better be
Merry Christmas.
better be careful you don't end up on the naughty list for this Goth.
Ooh.
That's
All right.
foul. That's a
So
foul thing you just said.
So we head over to our next match. It is Bam Miller versus Marf in the holiday food fight taking place in the Merry Mess Hall. So to start the match, a row of appetizer dishes come out. You know, your stuffed mushrooms, your spinach and artichoke dip, your cheesy Christmas tree bread, and more. So they quickly went right to work, slapping each other, throwing each other around. It was a nice, nasty little brawl with a whole bunch of food being thrown at each other. And going into midway through the match, the scenario started to change and more side dishes came out instead. So now we had some roasted honey pears, some mashed potatoes, acorn squash, etc., etc. And again, the chaos just continued on and on. But it was only when the entrees came out, a giant roast turkey and glazed roast pork still in the pan, that the match started to come to an end. I mean, they took the turkey legs and were bashing each other in the head with them, and it was actually really insane. But ultimately, Marf managed to just barely get the upper hand, hitting the sway right into the metal pan that had the pork in it, and just managed to pick up a nice solid win over Bam Miller. So Marf setting himself right on the path again. It's a very hard fought win. Good for him.
Hey, look, Marf is a switchblade. You never know when he's just gonna pop out and cut you. So good to see him with a nice win here. Bam Miller, sorry, it can't always be Miller time.
Miller
but I'm
time
sure-
just happens to be in the Miller Valley right now, and he
Yeah.
needs a new Miller
Miller.
genuine draft so he can reach the Miller high time again.
Man, Pip was on
Yeah.
fire this show, wasn't he?
He
It
was.
really was. He was speaking a lot. There's a lot of talking from Pip Collins.
There's something really funny to me about Pip was on fire. Yeah, he was talking a lot.
It's always that's his job.
Do you know what's
Yeah.
The only thing I'm sad to see in this match is that I would love to see Bam grab a can of Miller High Life and squash it like Popeye, getting spinach and powering up.
Well, unfortunately,
God.
when you spend too much time at Miller time, eventually you morph.
As it
That
goes,
was
That was fantastic.
that was not
That was
that
great.
sucked.
I love that. That was a great joke.
it was.
And also, did you know that Marf's fans are called Marfmellows?
I
know
like that. That's funny to me.
I like
New
that.
They
lore.
aren't, but they will be now.
They
so.
should be, yeah.
Marf, you better be taking notes if you're listening to this.
Everybody has their fans. Ned has Nedophiles.
That is not. That
Jesus
is not what
Christ.
they are called.
Holy
That
shit!
is
It
not-
is now.
That is not what they are called.
Oh
Holy
god.
fucking shit, Blaine.
I mean,
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. Well, let's ask Twitter once again.
Uh-oh.
No, let
Oh,
us
no.
not lover of boy Elaine. Let us not.
Well, in any event, I'm gonna head on to the next match. It was the Polar Paradise match between Finn Kuhn and Emmanuel de Monstre on the Frozen Polar Paradise pool. And man, he tried his best, try to match up to Finn Kuhn, but Finn was just hammering him left and right with some heavy shots, giving him the old swan song discus elbow. And ultimately sent him through the ice in near record time with the Kaiser's domain. And Finn Kuhn with a dominating victory there. Unfortunately, Manny just wasn't fit to head out there. But after the match, a little interesting thing happened. Finn actually helped the drowning Emmanuel demonstrate out of the water, preventing him from drowning to death. So that was really nice on him. But afterwards, there was a mysterious pumpkin with a Santa hat on it, seemingly calling out to him. Finn opened it, and it turns out that Christmas-colored confetti vomited out onto him, as it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas played in the background.
By Michael Bublé.
Yes, by Michael Bublé.
Such a beautiful voice.
Of course. But so Finn was definitely not pleased. He punched the pumpkin across the ice and it literally broke in two. So maybe we'll be seeing a follow-up on that. Maybe not. Who knows?
We don't need to.
You don't need to. Damn.
I can't believe Finn is feuding with a pumpkin now.
Is it Jacki O'Lantern or just a pumpkin?
No.
Maybe it's Finn's new eternal nemesis, like how Ned has the gorilla.
No, I don't.
You do though.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Y'all are all speculating that it's going to be Jacki O'Lantern. You're going to be so surprised when it's Squiggly the Clown.
Well, I mean, she has a pumpkin
Oh.
head. Jacki has a pumpkin head, and her name is clearly pumpkin related.
Mm-hmm.
But Finn, he was microdosing, so it's possible it was just a pumpkin.
Maybe.
That is not what microdosing does.
It does on Saturday Night Solstice.
Exactly.
Can we move on, please?
We go backstage to back into Santa's village, where it turns out something was on fire. Oh no! It turns out all the windows are smashed out of Elf University as Jenny is on the warpath trying to find her stolen Extreme Championship taken from her by Goth. And there's definitely some park rangers trying to come in and restore some order here as her description is being given out. And leaving us in suspense as we head off into our next match. It is Raion.
I like that Jenny was described as a possibly early 30s female, and that's gotta piss her off. Like if I know Jenny's, that's the worst thing about this is that she was possibly early 30s. There's no way she's letting that slide.
Possibly early.
Are you going through puberty? Like your voice keeps cracking. I don't know what's happening.
That's what he always sounds like that. What are you talking about?
It's weird, isn't it? It's like it's reversed.
Sounds.
Like Ryan Kido taking on Holden Ross.
Okay, I didn't want to mention it, but wait, I didn't want to mention it, but the way she said, like, "Oh, there's a fire happening," it made me think of like a clickbait. No, it made me think of like a clickbait YouTuber. It was really funny.
Mr. Beast, Finn Kuhn.
Oh.
All right. In my defense, I had to talk a lot earlier today, so my voice is like a little out there today. But continuing on, we have Raion Kido versus Holden Ross in the Winter Wonderland match inside the frozen Ho-Ho H2O water park. So started off with a little split screen action here going on between Kido and Ross as Ross is trying to fish out Kido like a bloodhound. And the first part of the match was spent with them trying to track down one another, but ultimately it ended with Ross trying to get the upper hand sneak attack on Kido, which he succeeded, but Kido managed to quickly turn things around and was looking very dominant on top of his game. Holden Ross was just unable to really pick up the pace and match him, and Kido hit the Atomic Thunder right into the Lightning Bolt, the same move that put down Alias, and he got a very convincing, very dominating 1-2-3 count. So Raion Kido looking pretty strong coming out of the last Savage ever.
Yeah, and that was Holden Ross's first pinfall loss in the XWF, which is fantastic if you happen to be booking the Madness brand and have spent 6 months building him up as a monster.
I mean, it is Kido though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
You're
It's
gonna
fine.
lose to someone.
I mean, can you imagine somebody being built, like, for example, having a belt and then having a couple of douchebags teabag him for a while? That would kind of put the wind out of their sails a little if they acknowledged it.
I don't know what
No
you're talking
idea
about.
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I can't see into the future.
No.
We're at Holden Ross versus Raion Kido.
Well, now we're at Chris Page versus Buster Gloves.
Oh, yeah, Buster Gloves.
Buster.
Fuck me, I'm coughing a lot now. God damn it.
Sorry, I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. But all right. So we start the match. It was definitely a really fun one. You know, Gloves and Page definitely seeming a bit evenly matched here, and neither man really happy with the reindeer stipulation, as the Karibos, I believe Page referred to them as in his promo, were just a constant force throughout the match, just staring at them. You know. But eventually, they managed to escape the reindeer rendezvous. And yeah, it went over into the bake shop area. So, I mean, I know Chris Page was asking me on the side, saying like, "Hey, why did you give me a bake shop? Why the bake shop anyway?" So it worked out in the end.
Craft services.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
So-
ultimately, sneaking out a win in the most unlikely of situations was none other than Buster Gloves hitting the obliterator onto Chris Page and getting the 1-2-3. So Buster Gloves knocking off Chris Page out of nowhere. That's got to be a real feel-good moment for him, especially with his list trying to knock off CCPE members. So, I mean, he cut off one of the heads of the snake, but that's not one of the names on his list. So we'll see how far that gets him.
That is one hell of an upset, brother.
For sure. Well deserved, though. It was a really good match.
Buster Gloves, the red-nosed bitch.
What? What? Like what? Why is that like your hyped up sentence for him? Buster Gloves, the red-nosed bitch.
Have you ever
like,
read
That-
a Chris Page promo? Those...
I'm from Alabama, that's why. And that's the nastiest thing that you could say. For 9,000 words.
Oh god.
Ooh, spicy.
Just want to would like to reiterate that I love Chris Page.
Yeah,
So
he's the best.
Yes, we love
No.
this page. So we coming from the Red Nose Reindeer match, we go over to another section of the park where none other than Oz coming out to the ring. You may know him as Ghost Tank, obviously. Fuck Ghost Tank, as Lane would say.
Stay.
So he laments everything that's been happening to him. He's been losing his way, fighting his inner demons, his outer demons. He should have been a Universal Champion with how long he's been here, but he just hasn't been able to crack the top. But he appreciates Thunder Knuckles and Bobby Bourbon, since they've been with him ever since the Bob days, the Brotherhood of Baddies, rooting for him to succeed, and they've been helping him when nobody else would. And he scorns everybody else in the locker room and says he knows that some people have been feeling the same way as him, and he says to believe in him and he will show them everything. So we'll be seeing how that situation unfolds.
well, hopefully not everything.
Oh, maybe.
Money Oswald reveals all. He then is
Money.
arrested shortly after.
That's right. He just pulls apart the Batwing.
What?
The Batwing. You don't know the Batwing?
I've never heard this phrase used before in my life. I'm feeling younger than Mav right now.
It's a movie called Waiting. It's an old one, but it's very funny.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we saying he's pulling his ball sack out?
Yeah.
What's going on?
And the spray.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
You kind of did.
I alluded to it, but hey, I haven't seen it.
Oh my.
I mean, he may stretch it out like a lizard using his neck sack to ward off enemies, but I didn't say that.
Joe, all right, I'm sorry. I can't help. I can't stop thinking about Ghost Tank, coming into the ring with this promo and this kind of like serious, like change of character and that, but his balls are out the entire time and he doesn't realise.
Oh
One
no.
ball.
Just one ball.
Just one ball. It's hanging out of his pants.
It's caught in the fly.
And then every match for the rest of his career, the crowd just chants one ball, one ball.
No. When the ring announcer,
Oh yeah.
when the ring announcer announces one fall, the fans go in response,
One ball.
One ball.
That's great. Wow.
I feel so bad because like Money Oswald put his heart and soul into this promo, and we're just immediately
good
caught
promo.
Bury
Holes in
it
his
in.
pants.
It was a very good promo, I will say that.
That's
But yeah.
well, we wouldn't be good at our job if we didn't say fuck Ghost Tank every single time we record.
Well, that's Lane's job, not mine.
Yeah, and then not fuck up Ghost Tank and bury him.
Yeah, we have to. You can't praise Ghost Tank and then just be like, anyway, fuck that guy. No,
Yeah.
you gotta. It's kayfabe, brother.
There we go. Also, legit, fuck Ghost Tank because he's changing his pick base now, so I need to fucking edit the headers at the top, which is annoying.
No.
Yeah,
New signature. Is he gonna need new avatar?
yeah.
Oh no! Is it gonna be Jack Nicholson with a green mohawk?
No green mohawk, one orange eye, one blue eye,
Muscular shoulders.
muscular shoulders, tattoo of a phoenix on his back, all that shit.
I would
Oh.
never hurt you in your motherland.
Holy fuck. Rooftop Cloud Spectacular. It's Charlie Nickles versus the returning Dr. DeVille, taking place on the rooftop of Santa's home. And yeah, I mean, what can you expect when I say these two guys' names? I mean, it was definitely chaotic, a war for the ages. I mean, they fell off of the roof multiple times, throwing each other off and into the barbed wire Christmas tree lights. They went into the house proper. They were fighting all throughout the entire house. I mean, they broke the ladder to get it back up. They had to actually like shift it around so it was more like a ramp. I mean, God, the amount of stuff that just happened here was honestly insane. Definitely worth a read once you have the time. But in the end, Doc managed to stuff Charlie down the chimney with a lobotomy, and he jumped right into the air and stuffed Charlie further and further down until he had to climb out himself. With Charlie properly stuck down the chimney, Dr. DeVille has won the Rooftop Clatter Spectacular.
Great job, Doc DeVille. XWF legend for a reason. And we actually were not able to get Charlie out of that chimney, and he tragically passed away.
Oh, that's a shame.
Thankfully, he will be back along with Dick Powers tomorrow.
That's right.
Me and Charlie high-fiving in hell. Like, it's good to be back, bro.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? I mean, look, Doc DeVille has hosted at least 3 shove-its in actual literal Christian hell.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
you can help get him back.
maybe,
true.
maybe. So we come to a new segment in the backseat area. Ned, would you like to read this one or explain it to the
No.
audience?
No, I would not. If you wanna
Well, what
read
happened?
it, go ahead. No, I'll let you know what happened. This is gonna get sold about as well as fucking. This is gonna get sold about as well as fucking Sarah Laughlin's house getting burnt down. That's what happened. So, if you want to go read it, go ahead. I am not acknowledging the existence of this fucking segment.
The man who was once notorious, then nefarious, and is now nameless, Ned K, was unfortunately ambushed from behind by a huge gorilla. He sent into the lockers. There's a bit of a question mark over what's going on here. But no, it turns out it's another gorilla suit, a suit with a Santa hat, and it's unveiled to be none other than Big Preach. So Preach continues assaulting Ned, and who comes out to explain things? It's none other than the Big Bong Twins, MCC Monkey, Bath Salts, and little Cash App Billionaire says they congratulate Big Preach on completing the hit they put out on Ned K, and they pay him handsomely. And they had Preach's big old stack, and the Bing Bong Twins proceed to trash talk Ned K, showing him his dumbass, rolling with punk asses like Cash, and running his mouth on the XWF media platforms. And then, to add insult to injury, with the pro Ned K lying on the ground, what did the Bing Bong Twins do? They teabag him. They teabag him for an uncomfortably long time. Ned,
A lot of time.
unfortunately, out of it. Yes, it goes on for a long, long long time.
I'm still scrolling. I'm still scrolling.
Yeah. Well,
So much teabagging.
they continue on into the night as the camera proceeds to go to the rest of the show. So that was an event that happened. One of the events of all time.
No, it wasn't. What was the match that followed that big wad of nothing?
Just that huge, massive black screen. Why, it's none other than the triple threat match for the television championship. Isaiah King versus Mastermind versus Geri Vayden. So, obviously, Mastermind and Geri trying their best to bring it as much as they could to Isaiah King. And, yes, so there was definitely a... Sorry, my voice is starting to act up again, but definitely a brutal carnal affair as all three of these guys wanting nothing more than to have the television championship wrapped around their waist. And I mean, Isaiah King was just proving himself to be, again, head and shoulders above the competition. He's been doing that pretty much his entire run. I don't think he's still lost a match yet, has he?
Not
I
yet.
think
No.
he has. I can't think of one. No.
Not since his return. No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely an impressive showing by him, but it looks like it might have been up for grabs towards the moment before none other than the King's Queen. I cannot pronounce that name. I am not going to do her that disservice, but it's Isaiah King's girlfriend, and she comes out, and well, she doesn't come out through the front. Rather, she slips in through the back, and hears something splatter on concrete. And as it turns out, Geri Vayden was face down on the mat, head busted open and bloodied. And I mean, Isaiah King was just wrapped in bloodlust at that point. He took advantage of it and he managed to get the cover on Geri Vayden, not by the cleanest of means, but a win is a win, as they say.
But a win is a win. But Mastermind in match number 151 did not get pinned, although he did lose, making this a technical.
Oh.
Oh, the streak
I love this
continues.
That was pretty great. Matt,
So-
if you need me to take over, I can, because I know you're getting pretty vocally worn out.
If you'd like to.
Okay.
You just have to
All right.
rewind. We were picking up. It was right after the Doc DeVille match. If you wanted to start there.
No, it was not. But I'm glad you took that joke, Vinny, because I expected it and you followed through. So,
I'm very predictable.
yes. Oh my God.
But get to it, boy. You volunteered.
Our resident elf, Ginny Myst, tearing up Santa's village in order to find her Extreme Championship belt. Heather announces that there's some thievery. And then we find out that in a tragic turn of events, the Great Humbug Adventure is on fire. So,
No. Classic
Myst
children's attraction.
Myst can't be seen for a bit. The XWF cameraman coughing and shaking. Uh-oh. What's going on? And it turns out that security begins to surround the Reindeer Rendezvous, which is a name that I haven't thought about very long until I read it, and it just makes me very happy. Then
It sounds a little dirty, doesn't it?
It does. It does a little bit.
It's like a Canadian version of a Tijuana donkey show.
It sounds
pretty
like
much.
something you get in a hotel and never talk about again.
Gonna have us a reindeer rendezvous, eh?
Oh no! I don't
Well,
like that.
New Hampshire is very close to Canada.
It's right next to it.
Exactly.
Anyway, so scene cuts to Theo Price, my boss.
Why do you say that with such disdain?
Weird.
Isn't he literally the manager of your stable? Why did
My
you say it like that?
boss.
Well, it turns out for some reason I have some animosity towards my bosses due to recent events that we won't go into. Recent events that didn't happen.
Damn.
Well, that makes even less sense.
How can you hate them over an event that didn't happen? What the fuck, man?
Oh,
Maybe
you're in the
maybe-
multiverse of madness.
Yes, clearly.
Let's move on. Anyway, So Goth has the extreme title. Turns out he has it. He goes up to Theo. Goth is talking. Goth, could you tell us a little bit about your thought process in taking Ginny Myst's extreme title?
As you know, nothing warms the chilled black heart of Goth quite like the holidays. So, on the Solstice, the great pagan darkening of the year, I chose to christen myself the Extreme Champion.
Ooh.
And then I had a candy cane.
How was the candy cane, Goth?
It was very delicious.
Was it red and white or was it black like your soul?
It was pitch black. There were only black with black stripes, so it appeared to all be one color. But I assure you, there were stripes that were equally as black.
Oh, God.
So, unfortunately, due to circumstances, Goth has demanded a title shot, which Price gladly gives to him, much to the chagrin of Ginny Myst. So
That's how you do it. That's if you want a title shot, you just go steal things and insist on it. And then we say, oh yeah, that makes sense. And we book it.
And if you you know what? Good call. Anyway, next up is Ginny Myst versus John Madison Jr.
Campers champ.
Excuse me?
Extreme champion Ginny Myst. Yeah, extreme champion Ginny Myst versus tag champ John Madison.
No, I thought you said pamper champ. I thought,
what the fuck?
Well, he is a big fat diaper baby.
Yes, that's very true. Very true.
That is why I thought that, is because the last time we talked about Maddie Jr., Vinny did not have many like pleasant things to say.
Well, you know, it's a new year now, probably. So we're just turning over a new leaf, and you know, new year, new me, new Maddie. Maybe he won't shit his diaper, but maybe he will. I don't know. Maybe he's into that. I mean, a lot of people are on like places like FetLife.com. You know, you can find diaper babies if you're into that, right, Ned?
I'm not into it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you whether or not.
Okay.
So, anyway, the match begins with Ginny riding her reindeer companion up to the ring with a baseball bat, but not wielding it normally, but like a javelin, which is just wonderful. They have a pretty brutal match. Ginny is given a swirly, which is barbaric, if you ask me. Just truly horrifying.
Really? I mean, I don't think Maverick was able to read that swirly without just having Vietnam-esque flashbacks of every day of his life in high school.
I thought you were going to say what his parents used to do to him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was while he was in high school, though.
Like, his parents would come up to the high school, bully him, like, push him around, and then shove his face into the toilet.
They would give him his lunch money, and then they would take it.
We call that a net zero in the biz. So, anyway. Unreal. Santa's sleigh begins approaching the station, bothering Ginny.
As it does.
The match goes as it would. The match goes on for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Oh my, Ned, you're killing it today, mate. Fucking hell.
Thanks,
wow,
thanks.
this fucking play-by-play. You need Pip Collins when you got Ned K.
Even I wasn't ready for this. I did the
volunteered.
Voice. I did this.
It's your idea.
Voice.
A young boy.
I'm also trying not to read it like word by word because that's dumb. Anyway, Ginny ends up kicking Madison in the gut, hits a DDT, continues onward, tosses him into the back of the door of the monorail docking station, blocks him into the door, doesn't break it. Santa's sleigh arriving in 2 minutes. The clock is running down. She goes to run up the steps, tries and get some more offense on him. John Madison grabs her by the ankle. They keep on going. The ride gets closer. The moments are ticking down, and John Madison Jr. falls off the moving monorail, plummeting to the earth, not dying like Charlie Nickles. Winner, still extreme champion, Jenny Myst. Eat my ass, Lane.
Damn!
I mean,
What did he do to you to deserve this?
if you're just gonna put it up on a platter like that, eat it like
Lane's don't
Christmas
talk to
dinner.
me with a good time.
That's right. I'll change your
really-
life, boy.
No, if I'm really really.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
look. Listen,
Wow.
listen.
He's been a little hot
The
and heavy
70s were a
now.
loose and wild time.
I never realized that the meta narrative of this podcast was me and Vinny being enemies to lovers. Like
That's right.
I didn't know until this moment.
It's a
But-
love story. It's just like one of those Hallmark movies, like Eat, Pray, Love, or whatever.
So true.
First,
Eat,
we can't
Pray,
stand
Love.
each other. Yeah, and then Alan Rickman buys a necklace from Mr. Bean, and Bruce Willis throws him off of a building. I think that's how that movie goes.
Yeah.
Thing like that.
Yeah.
Something I remember. It's been a while, but
Pray
yeah,
die
please.
hard.
Pray Die Hard. Yeah, and I don't know. Ned just keep sweating through the commentary. Let's go.
Eternal sunshine of the spotless gorilla. So,
They don't have
My.
spots.
oh fuck off.
Kaposi sarcoma.
I was going to ask if Maverick wanted to hit the main event.
Well,
I'll
actually,
take
Gator
this
would
one.
like to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's let Gator walk us through this fever dream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
let's-
right. So yeah, just preference this match. I wrote this at like 5 o'clock in the morning, so this is literally a fever dream. Right. So net match.
Oh,
Shut up, fuck it, Ned. Shut up. God damn it.
Quiet, you piece of shit. We're trying to have
Asshole.
Christmas.
Christmas.
All right, so main event is Matt Flynn, Universal Champion, versus Atara Raven in a Ghost of Christmas match for the XWF Universal Championship. Match starts off. Tara walks the Ebenezer Scrooge's house. Matt Flynn is already there in a nightcap and gown because he probably slept there. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they start having a fight on the hallway, throwing each other downstairs and bullshit like that. Matt Flynn targets Atara's elbow off pretty soon. Oh god, I cannot read at all today. I can't even fucking remember this match, honest to God.
Wild. Wild.
Mate,
Wow.
fucking, like, I've been on painkillers for so long, like, I just don't know what's happening anymore. And I'm reading through it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what did I actually write?
How do you function?
I got to tell you though, I really appreciate the callback, bringing back not only the judge, the weird computer, but Gaylord Cockschaefer and Mike Stump,
Yes.
who were the original commentary team for Savage Saturday Night, going back to 2016.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Definitely putting in the effort here. A good
I
send out to
tried.
Savage.
I did try, yeah. So yeah, they end up fighting for a little bit in the house until a ghostly figure appears, who is the judge, who ran the first ever like Saturday Night Savage, or Savage Saturday Night as it was called back in 2016.
That's right.
And he pops up, scares the living shit out of Flynn, and then brings him back to 2016 in a full arena in the first match, the first like event that happened there. Gaylord Cockschaefer and Mike Stump greet us, making terrible 2016 puns all the way through. And then Atara and Mark have a regular old fight in the ring there, and I can't remember what happens, but nothing important, so it's fine.
Never.
Yeah,
It's never anything important.
never any important. It's just they just fight each other. Just having that classic wrestling match. It's boring.
It's just punchy, kicky underpants fights.
Yeah, exactly. And then the judge is like, "Wow, you two are even a match, but it's the opener and you're going on too long." So he brings out the guillotine, which is what we used to use back in the day to kill jobbers, because that's what it was like at that time,
As it goes.
as it goes.
Hmm.
And
At
then,
least
yeah.
So you want to be a wrestler?
Pretty much.
Why did realistically in universe, Ned was like an XWF fan who wanted to be a part of the company? Why would
Right.
you ever want that?
Yeah.
This company was beheading people. Like, even beyond that, whose kind of father lets their kid watch that fucking show?
I know, yeah. It certainly makes you, when you become a wrestler in XWF, it makes you want to try harder because you could die or get shat on. So,
Really.
Quite
Like, you just
literally.
buried in shit, decapitated. Sometimes you had
It was a horrifying time for
yeah,
everybody.
we can't say his name. I need to bleep that out. Thank you.
Oh, that's right.
You're an asshole. You're a piece of shit.
Blaine's just like, it's all part of the job.
That's what I do.
Enemies to lovers to enemies again.
Throw up some links to the YouTube community that hates.
Okay, can we stop? All right. Up next is Matt Flynn is dragged out by security. He's about to get executed by the guillotine, and then some ghostly figures show up, and it is the ghostly figures of Liam Desmond and Jonathan Barrows who stop the execution, bring Mac and Atara back into present day, back into Scrooge's house, and the two continue fighting there. Atara avoids the end and hits from above off the couch through the glass bay windows, and so now they are outside on the street. Where my favourite joke happens, where Flynn finds like a small child and it says, "You there, boy, what day is it?" And then Tiny Tim says, "Why, it's Saturday, sir." And then Flynn steals the crutch of Tiny Tim, who falls over in the snow and then smashes it over Atara's head.
That is beautiful.
Oh,
It's the ghost. Oh my god.
That's Charles Dickens powers.
And then after the attack, Flynn pins Atara, but no count starts, and like a blizzard comes up, and then a whiteout happens. See, prelude to the next pay-per-view. I'm a smart writer.
yes, you are. You're a smart cookie.
Snowing. It's not foreshadowing. It's foresnowing.
Yeah, I like that.
It's skinning.
And then Atara and Mark, they wake up on like a lonely hill, and they are greeted by the ghost of Christmas fuckture, who is Dick Powers.
Okay, I just want to say really quick, I appreciate the pun "Ghost of Christmas Fuckture" because the more obvious pun was obviously "Ghost of Dickmas Future."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, of course, but why would I go for the obvious one when I can go for the bad one?
words of my own heart.
Yeah, and Atara's disgusted by Dick's puns, and it's like, "Oh, did they make you a GM?" And then Dick proclaims, "No, he now owns the XWF." So look forward to that, Vinny, I guess.
We can do that now.
Oh, sick!
God.
Pretty near future. Fuckture.
Fuck. And then Dick starts a match again for the third and final time, but kind of makes it a buried alive match because he shows an open coffin with a empty tombstone, and then introduces to the Future's commentary team, which consists of Little Cashe, MCC Monkey, and Darren Dangerous.
Oh
Yes.
my!
The greatest commentary trio the XWF will ever know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Darren Dangerous is quite the wordsmith.
Oh, yeah. Especially in this commentary team where it just says, "Fuck yeah, make him bleed," and smashes a light tube over his head.
And that's it. And that's all he
it.
says.
That is it.
That's all he needs to say. He doesn't overexert himself. He doesn't talk too much like Mick Collins.
Yeah, he speaks actions, not words.
Take notes, Pip.
We're going to give Pip a fucking light bulb to smash over his head at the beginning of every episode.
I'm told I must smash this over my head.
Ow! That was quite upsetting.
Oh, God. Okay, and then Matt Flynn gets the upper hand over Atara, focusing on the elbow that he injured earlier, and gets her in a Fujiwara armbar. But Subversion, because I'm a very good writer, she doesn't tap, she manages to power out of it, and kicks Flynn away, and who is next to the open grave. She leaps, goes to the Judgment of Paris. Darren Dangerous eats some glass.
I'm glad you read it. Thank you.
That from time to time.
Yeah. But Flynn drops at the last proper second. Atara lands on the opposite side of the open grave, teeters, and then Flynn manages to get to her back, gets a knee in, reverse DDT, crossroads, and hits the logical conclusion. Both fall into the open grave, but Flynn manages to land on top of Atara, and Dick counts the pin, and Matt Flynn retains.
Wow. And I mean, this is fantastic. Just, I mean, look, first of all, Atara, amazing job that she did here. This is like a nail biter, right? I mean, for people judging this was like the thinnest of margins of victory for Flynn, which is not a small feat. Yeah. So I mean,
Right.
I thought we were looking at possibly Universal Champion Atara Themis. So bravo.
Literally, it was to the point where Mark Flynn, before the results came out, had to give props to Atara for just how much this was making him sweat. So it was really coming down to the wire here. Like,
Yeah, and Flynn just doesn't sweat anybody. So that's like a hell of a compliment. Like, you know, he faced Dick Powers. I don't remember him saying like, "Oh man, that was difficult." He was like,
"Oh, you should
wow.
have seen the DMs he was sending me. He was like panicking, well, about begging."
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, just privately where we can't see it.
Yeah, of course.
He was on his hands and knees, kissing at Dick Powers' feet, just begging for him to chop the match.
And that
unfortunately, those DMs have all been deleted somehow.
Well, I'm not at liberty to show him, and Matt Flynn would never show him because he's so embarrassed about it. So, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, he would never do that. But for real, fantastic match, fantastic showing from the Universal Champion Mark Flynn and the contender Atara Themis. I hope these guys go at it again, and I hope Atara just does more, because man, like this is just so good. And obviously all the throwback reference, all the silliness is wonderful, especially because a lot of it ties into just how silly the XWF was in 2016, which was very, very silly.
understatement.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, it was a it was a hard journey out of that pit, but we got here. So
and, you know, and there's no better representative for a hard journey of the XWF than Dick Powers.
Of course, as it goes.
I mean, look, I can't think of any. We put a bow on Savage here, and I think we did it justice. It was fantastic, great show, great matches, great promos from everybody. So long, Savage. We barely knew you, but you know, hey, everybody's time comes.
Yeah.
Well, it still is
that's
on
more
as part of Weekend Warfare coming up now, so.
That's true. I mean, it's not gone, right? I mean, the name is gone, but the spirit of Savage and the spirit of
Gone,
Warfare,
but not forgotten.
Yeah, they just get combined into Weekend Warfare. They'll still both be in our hearts forever. I mean, I was there at the inception of Savage. I don't. Mav, I think you were still around then. Ned hadn't gotten here yet.
Yeah.
Gator, I don't know if you were gone or not.
I was gone at 2016. Yeah.
Yeah, so you weren't here. So, but it was weird. Actually, it was a John Madison Jr. was my predecessor as the administrator of the XWF. Not junior, he was senior at the time. And he created Savage. He created the brand. Yeah. And it started out kind of weird, as you can see with this with the judge. Which is amazing. I didn't know the judge had all these like weird time space continuum powers. Like we've just kind of stuck him on a cart like a TV from a high school AV movie watching day and put him in a closet since 2016. And if I knew he was capable of this stuff, I'd have probably utilized him more.
Yeah. Well, we could always make him a ref, like, you know.
Yeah, you just wheel him out. You wheel him out on a cart, like when you watched Hamlet in 9th grade English. I don't. Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, just about Savage as well. Like, you know, I was like GM for Savage for a very long, well, I don't know, a very long time, but a long time. And like, very fond memories. I'm going to miss the Christmas Savages the most, well, the Halloween Savages the most. So hopefully I'm looking forward to do something nice with Weekend Warfare when we go on.
We're gonna keep the vision alive. It's see you later, not goodbye. And then, you know, this is where we play I Don't Want to Wait for Our Lives to Be Over.
I'm just going to put in the X Factor theme song.
Over here I'm thinking of fucking We'll Meet Again by Vera Lynn. And it's like, no, X Factor.
You had everything I ever wanted. I'm gonna get that back. I know you hate X Factor, but you ain't gotta look at me like that.
Wait, just play the Sonic Underground theme.
No, get
Vetoed.
copyright strikes again.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe, I think we can avoid the copyright if you just sing it.
Yeah, true.
Oh my god.
Go on.
Okay.
Well, Ned, will you lead us in the sing along?
Triplets born, the throne awaits. A seer warns the potentially fate.
Okay, that's
Give
enough.
up
That's
your-
stop. Stop.
Yeah.
We're done.
All right.
Long show.
Thank you.
All right, so that's it for Savage. Forever and ever.
Okay, I don't like how "That's It for Savage" ends immediately after me singing Sonic Underground. That feels so disgraceful.
It was
Ugh.
basically a eulogy. It was, that's fine. So what do
One of
we
the
want to talk
eulogies
about next,
said-
fellas? What are we going to next? What do we have booked next? We have the last warfare, the last Wednesday warfare, and the last warfare of 2022, and the last one to take place on Wednesday.
Of course. So I will walk us through it right now, starting from the top to the bottom. It is coming to you live from Madison Square Garden, New York City, New York, the Big Apple. So starting things off in an Extreme Rules match, we have Jacki facing off against newcomer John Grayson. We have a triple threat last man standing match, interesting, between Marf, Lexi Gold, and Goff. We have an I Quit match between Dolly Waters and Charlie Nickles. We have the classic Smoking Bob Chamber match for the number one contender match for the new Unified TV and Supercontinental Championship between Chronic Chris Page, Finn Kuhn, Dick Powers, Jerry Vayden, Latina Submission Machina, and Mastermind. So Finn Kuhn and Chris Page will be starting off the match first, and every 3 minutes a pot will be opening. Dick Powers will enter in first, then Jerry Vayden, then Latina Submission Machina, and then Mastermind. And then the main event in the unification match for the Supercontinental and television title, we have Isaiah King versus Ned K in a ladder match. So you have to possess both titles to win, and the winner will go forward bearing the brand new Unified Television Championship.
Now, is that 2 belts and 2 ladders, like in different parts of the ring? Because that would be cool.
It depends who writes it, I guess. I was thinking they're both hanging in the same place, but yeah, I like the idea that they're both like a corner each, actually.
Yeah, that's actually a much cooler idea. Good job, Benny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do stuff. I do things.
I think
I
I
told-
might be writing that match as well. Or
There you go.
so there.
I think it's still unclaimed, actually, but
Is it? I
who
thought I
knows?
claimed that shit. Oh, my bad.
He has
I don't
formally
know.
claimed it.
I haven't
He's
checked the match
claiming it now,
recently.
bitches.
He's claiming it. He is setting his alarm for 4 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, popping 3 Quaaludes and writing another classic.
Of course.
How do you know about my Quaalude stash?
I assume that's what the kids do these days is the Quaaludes.
It's right next to the Jaffa Cakes.
Gets them from the apothecary in Piccadilly Circus.
Unreal. Well, that
So what
is
do you
the
pick?
final.
Who's winning these matches? Let me tell you, I think Jacki O'Lantern wins the opener.
She's been looking pretty strong recently, yeah.
I gotta go with my boy Goff in that triple threat.
Mhm.
Dolly Waters versus Nickles. That's fun. I'm gonna pick Nickles in that one.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would. At 100% all the time, like all time, I would pick Dolly. Like maybe most of the time, but probably like 6 times out of 10. So I think they're pretty evenly matched.
I'm kind of the same way, but Charlie instead.
Yeah. I think it's Charlie's moment. I think this is more like the Charlie era than the Dolly era, but you never know.
Mhm.
The man, this other match, this chamber match. Well, not Mastermind.
He's
I'm
hungry.
just kidding. I'm kidding. It could be Mastermind. You never know. I guess it depends. I could see Chris Page winning it, and I could see LSM winning it. Yeah, those are my 2 top picks. Either Chris Page or LSM. That right there. And if not,
can't
then
see
maybe
me
Finn
winning
Kuhn.
it?
I could
Oh,
see
okay,
Finn
there we
winning it, I think he's like my runner-up basically.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. And then the main event, currently I cannot bet against Isaiah King. I just can't do it. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter who he's facing. I have to pick Isaiah King.
It's hard to bet against him, but I think right now, out of his recent slew of opponents, if anybody can put a stop to him, it's going to be Ned. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be down to
can
the
do it.
wire, I think, for sure.
Look, Ned. I do owe Ned some respect on his name because he did dethrone Peter Vaughn, and nobody gave him any chance
Charlie
to do it.
Nickles.
Charlie Nickles.
Charlie Nickles. I did not dethrone Peter Vaughn.
Oh well, fucking never mind then. Isaiah King.
Well,
You're right. I screwed that up. For some reason in my mind it was Peter Vaughn, but you're right.
well,
it was
they
Nickles
did
beat
face each
Vaughn,
other
right?
at Relentless, and Ned was screwed out of the win thanks to interference from Bam Miller. So
It's true.
Miller
Miller.
time.
I like how it's just Miller time. Like we don't even have a joke to go with it anymore. It's just we say Miller time and it's funny.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows what it means.
exactly.
So, Mav, what's your picks for the evening? You already said Isaiah for the main event.
I gave a couple, yeah. So I lean Jacki too for the opener. I mean, we've seen what she can do. I mean, if John Grayson, RPs and we see what he can do, that'd be nice. But I think I'm gonna stick with Jacki for this. Triple threat. I'm gonna lean Goth too. I think Marf could maybe knock off Goth, depending on what happens. And Lexi, obviously, of course, going to be the underdog favorite. It hurts my heart having to go against Lexi, as I'm a part of the Lexi Gold fan club, as are we all. But I'm just yes, of course. I'm just favoring Goth the most out of the trio right now. I quit match. I already gave my thoughts. I'm leaning Charlie right now at this moment. It's like a 60-40 split, like how Lane said with Dolly. The chamber. I'm obviously not going to predict the chamber. I'm going to be glad if I win. I'm going to try and give it my all, but it's going to be a hard one for sure. And the main event, it's a bit of a tough one. I mean, like I said, you can't really go wrong with betting on Isaiah King. So, I mean, I'm going to say it's King, yeah. But, I mean, I think Ned will definitely be giving him his biggest match yet for sure in terms of difficulty.
What do you think, Gator? Any differences of opinion here?
I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Jacki because I don't know John Grayson at all, and I like Halloween shit as well. So Jacki O'Lantern for me. That triple threat. It's two of my favorite people.
Nightmare Before Christmas vibe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True.
Of course.
The triple threat, like Lexi and Goth, like two of my favorite people in the fucking world. Like, I am president of the Let's Go fan club, and I am a I'm not sure. I'm a gother. I'm a goth boy.
Not a Marf.
No, I'm not a marshmallow.
I think they're called goth balls.
Goth ball. I am a goth ball.
I like it.
I need some like goth medicine. It's really tough. Yeah, like I'm gonna go with Lexi simply out of the fact that I am president of Let's Go fan club. I do think Marf is actually gonna win this one, but I am rooting 100% for Lexi.
Yeah, Goth is going to win, but I'm rooting for Lexi. That's my take, too.
I said Marf. I think Marf is going to win this one.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm differing from you.
Oh,
saying I think
sorry.
Goth is going to
you.
win. Yeah.
Dolly and Charlie, easy. I'm rooting for Dolly, and I think Dolly's going to win. I will never pick Charlie Nickles. He knows why.
Damn.
For anything, for any reason.
I'm joking. Charlie, you're all right. Chamber match, I tell you what, I'm going to do everything possible to make sure Mastermind and Chris Page don't win.
I get Chris Page, but why are you picking on Mastermind?
Because I just want him to have more technicals. I want him to get the 500th technical in XWF history.
Yes!
Well, you know what, Gator? I think maybe it's time for you to build a bridge and get over it.
Damn, wouldn't it be slammed so hard? And that main event's fucking awesome. I love that main event. I can't wait to
For
run it.
sure.
Do you think it's King or is it Ned?
fuck, man. Like, honestly, like, Isaiah King is being on such a great hot streak, and he's such a good fucking writer. But
Yeah.
I would feel bad not going with Ned here, because I know when Ned's in the corner, he can put out some of his best work. And
For sure.
I definitely think he's going to try and prove himself here. So, I'm rooting for Ned, and I'm going with Ned.
You think Ned's
Never
taking it?
put
I think
Ned
Ned's
in-
taking it.
Never
He's
put
gonna-
Ned
he
in a
looks-
corner.
Dirty dancing, nice, yeah. Maybe see Isaiah King choking Ned out in the corner, and Ned starts, the ref drops his arm once. He drops his arm a second time, but the third time it doesn't fall, and he starts netting up. And all the tears from all the netophiles in the audience
No,
really-
no,
really get him going.
A gorilla comes out and just nods slowly, appreciating Ned's conviction.
He gets a
And
slow
here I
clap
thought-
and a tear.
Here I
A
thought,
single tear rolling down the cheek of the gorilla.
Oh, I can't wait to write this fucking match.
and here I thought Vinny Lane was one of my biggest fans because he constantly says my last name 3 times in a row. So
Long walk to that punchline.
yeah, I don't care. So my predictions for tonight are, because everybody else went for Jacki, I gotta go for John Grayson. I'm pulling for you, John.
Let's up ERPs.
I mean, Jackie's starting off as an underdog because we spelled her first name wrong.
It's true. Very
Wait,
true.
what? Smoking Bob spelled a name wrong? Oh my
I
god.
can't believe it.
First time.
Son of a bitch.
First
Reminds
time
me
in
of the-
XWF history. Jesus
Reminds
Christ.
me of the original version of this card. Yeah, the I quit match spell as an I quite match.
I quite like that match. So obviously
I'm
we're all
sorry,
a part of
he
the
didn't. No, he didn't. Did he actually?
He did.
My
He
fucking
did.
God.
screenshot.
I bet when he saw Isaiah King's fucking name, he had like a fucking stroke. Like, how do I spell this?
He didn't know how to spell king. Anyway, obviously I'm a big member of the Lexi Gold fan club, but I gotta go with Gator and say that Marf is gonna win. Marf got a really big recent win. I think he's gonna ride that momentum here. Before you even said anything, Mav, I was like, yeah, I think Dolly's gonna take it, but I get where you're coming from.
Right.
I think there might be some extra reasons for why Charlie Nickles might be a little distracted. So
Just- hmm.
yeah, just have not as much attention on one specific match.
I get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
So because of that, wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I do think that gives Dolly a lot more wiggle room, a lot more focus. And again, Dolly at 100%, like Lane was saying, I think can beat Charlie Nickles.
I think Dolly at 100% can beat pretty much anybody.
Agreed.
I would agree, actually. I would totally agree.
Yeah, you can't really count out Dolly when she's going at things full strength. Like,
Mhm.
one of the best we have.
So when it comes
Especially
to
in
the
an I Quite match. I mean, the I Quite match is custom made for Dolly Waters. So I mean,
It's true.
I assume it's just her and Charlie sitting like two English gentlemen drinking tea, going quite.
Yeah.
quite.
The first one to
No,
slip up and say indeed loses.
Anyway, during the Smoke and Bob chamber match, which surprisingly was spelled correctly.
Yeah, I kind of went over that one. So
Yeah. I gotta go with Dick.
you are an idiot. You are so dumb.
No.
Why would you do that?
I don't care. I gotta go with Dick because, frankly, Gator, you were the only person who believed in me versus Charlie. You were the only person who believed in me tonight.
So he
with
doesn't really
Isaiah.
believe it. It's a favor.
No, I believe Dick Powers can. No, if we're being honest here, just completely honest, Dick Powers can beat everybody in this match. I
Yeah,
earnestly believe it.
I know that.
It is Dick Powers choosing to take it seriously, and I am pretty certain he won't, but I don't care. I'm going to put that kind of pressure on him anyway, because Dick Powers kicks ass.
I think he enjoys not taking it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well,
Maybe he's not his best when he doesn't take it seriously.
like, Dick Powers, you can't make a character who dies in like 50% of their written work and say, oh yeah, that guy takes it seriously.
A guy whose whole gimmick is that he's not a real wrestler is serious as fuck.
Even though he has been a wrestler for at least
Several
6 years.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to intervene there quick because I just found this dead funny. Like when Dick was against Matt Flynn for a little bit ago, Matt Flynn is a fantastic writer who does incredible research on his opponent.
Yeah,
and he's bringing up stuff in Dick's past, and I'm like reading it, it's like, you know, this doesn't matter, mate. Like I don't think it's fucking like canon at all, but he made a great point, so gotta give it to him.
Yeah, he probably knows Dick Powers more than Dick Powers knows Dick Powers.
Does. I had no idea how many matches I've won or lost as Dick. Matt found out for me, so I appreciate it.
just reminded you how you did not belong there whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh hey, my red guy, you put that in my signature again.
Nobody can make you hate your own character as well as Mark Flynn.
You know, that's a lot of the best RPers that I've ever been against. That's exactly what they do. Is that they, guys like Sid Feder back in the day, John Samuels was really, really good, and John Madison was so good at it. Just like he would just hurt you, like it hurt you to read the shit that these guys, and they were like, "Damn it, he's right. Like I'm bad. Like I should quit."
Yeah. So I think I can't remember if it was John Samuels or Sid Feder. Somebody double spaced in an RP once, and one of them went so hard on him because they acted like that double space was a stutter, and it was like, why are you stuttering over your words? Are you fucking feeling like a pussy and shit like that? And it's like, oh my god, that's so smart, that's so good.
Yeah, because then that other guy has to think, he has to respond to it, right?
Yeah,
he has to find a way to make it work. And like now, as soon as you do that to somebody, like they're backpedaling and they've kind of already lost. Like as soon as you've just got them, you're just throwing shit at them and making them deal with what you're saying instead of saying what they want to say. You won.
Yeah, perfect stuff. Anyway, sorry, Ned, carry on.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna end by saying I'm really honored to be in the final main event of Wednesday Night Warfare, and that's something I'm gonna go a little bit more into somewhere else. But I think Isaiah King is a perfect opponent. Like, genuinely, this match was made for us. We both have our characters' homes being in New York City, and New York is where we're gonna fight. It's if I'm gonna speak entirely frankly, it's got me kind of emotional because the XWF. I just hear Vinny, oh baby boy. But no, the XWF has been a really important part of my life for coming on 4 years now. We're like 3 months away from 4 years, and
I didn't realize it had been that long. But yeah, I guess it's wild. The last 4 years have gone by really, really quickly.
They really have, yeah. I didn't realize.
Yeah, but I just, there's something that feels kind of right about Ned as a character specifically being in this match. His first non-pay-per-view appearance was on Warfare, and his first win was on Warfare. So hopefully,
it was about a year later after the debut.
You're such a cunt.
Hey, my biggest moments have been on Warfare. So I feel it's right. I feel like this moment, this match is the correct way to go. I feel sad because Wednesday Night Warfare is just kind of the status quo that I'm used to. I feel happy because there's a new era opening for the XWF, not just myself. And it's going to be interesting what's going to happen, what we're going to see. Jacki O'Lantern, we mentioned a lot of new names, people we haven't seen a whole lot, like John Grayson. We mentioned
Wiggly the clown.
Yeah, Squiggly the clown. We can't ignore Squiggly. But we've got a ton of historical names like Doc DeVille, Chris Page, who have appeared on these last big shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's got me feeling like genuinely pretty fucking sad to see it go. Like it's a weird feeling.
Right.
But I'm happy, I'm happy to be around y'all. I'm happy to be around y'all this Christmas. And I don't just mean my podcast buddies, but I mean like all of you in the XWF, because y'all are, a form of my family. Y'all are family. And I love y'all. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever the hell.
All right, so back to the dick jokes.
Yeah. Let's talk
I don't know
about
what
how
the hell
they
Ned's trying to do to this podcast, but I didn't sign off on it. He didn't run this through creative.
That was a bit of a holiday cheer going through here.
That's what you get for teabagging me, you son of a bitch.
That wasn't me. It was
Bing Bong Twins.
It was nobody. It never happened.
It never happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, look, it's great. I honestly, when Theo first came to me and he was like, hey, we talked about combining the brands because we're just not getting the participation on Warfare. And I kind of knew, I saw things kind of going in that direction too, because anytime, if you've been paying attention to e-fetting like I have for the last several years, I mean, it's always been moving in the direction of fewer RPs, right? So like, so many people just see like that Warfare has a third RP and they don't want to do it, right? And it doesn't even necessarily happen. I mean, we have people who, they sign on for 1 RP matches or whatever all the time, but just the idea of the third RP was keeping people away from it.
It's intimidating, yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, because back in the day, Savage was a weekly show and Warfare was a bi-weekly show, so there was a little bit of a difference between them, but that's not the case anymore. They both became bi-weekly. They were both practically the same show. So there were really just no reason to keep them separate anymore. We can just have one bigger show. It'll be easier. And everything that we had in 2 separate shows will still be there. So I don't know. It'll just be better for everybody involved going forward, I think. But I felt a little bit of a something, in the cockles of my heart, or maybe somewhere below the cockles.
In the dickles of your heart.
Maybe even in the colon. But it was there because I was like, oh man, but it's it's been there forever. I mean, we were there for its inception. Like, even Theo, like he was like, man, Wednesday Warfare has been there forever. So that's why we went. We kept the name Warfare because Warfare is, the name that's synonymous with the XWF. You can't have an XWF without Warfare. So we kept that. I probably personally would have kept it midweek, but more people voted and wanted it to be on the weekend. My personal opinion is it's easier to have 2 full weekends to RP in, but whatever. We give the people what the people want here in the XWF. Unless they want to be booked properly, in which case we do not give them that.
Again, who needs fairness?
Who needs fairness?
Unless they want the gorilla joke to end because they didn't think it was that funny to begin with, and it just keeps following them, then we don't give them what they want.
Well, yeah. I mean, and spoiler alert, we already know that one of the segments on the final Wednesday Warfare Christmas Bonanza is Ned K sitting on a gorilla's lap and telling him what he wants for Christmas.
What an amazing segment idea.
I want to be the new television champion.
Yeah. The Nutella Vision champion.
Oh no, I don't want to be the Nutella Vision champion.
It's a chocolate belt that we give to you to feel better
Actually,
about when you lose your main event match.
I'm pretty sure that's hazelnut.
Hazelnut. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Tastes bad.
So funny to me. Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
just still look. I'm still reeling from Ned going on this like emotional roller coaster for being in the final warfare, as if it's something that we did on purpose.
No, I know it's not on purpose. I know it is pure circumstance. You thought Charlie was going to kick my little white tush right out of that match.
We're like, oh yeah, Ned, we knew it meant something to you, so that's why we did that. Like, no, that's not what happened.
Was Mav's rage for not being in the main event? That's what I want to hear. Mav's whole thing, Finkun's whole thing is wanting to be in the main event and losing in the main event, and he's not allowed to do it on the final warfare.
Well, what he should have done, if he wanted to be true to character, since we just did the Solstice show, which was heavy on the 2016, is he should have no-showed it completely.
This is true. This is very, very true.
Instead of this piece of shit opponent no-showed like an asshole.
Yeah.
God, what a useless guy that Emmanuel the Monster is. Hope he never returns.
Now, I can't help but notice that Emmanuel the Monster and Louis DeVille, those are pretty similar names. Right? I mean,
they both have the D and the apostrophe. It's interesting.
Yeah. Like, are they cousins? Is that how the French language works?
Maybe they're from enemy families.
Oh, I like it.
I had to do my actual job. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ned does this at work, like a weirdo.
Yeah.
I just do it like a normal person, ignoring my family in the basement.
Exactly.
I do this at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Do you guys want to just go straight to the year-end awards? Do you want to go over Madness a little bit? I mean, I could kind of run you through the happenings there because we do have the Madness coming up.
Go through Madness.
Yeah, don't throw everything else at this point. Let's do Madness.
All right, I won't drag it out because there's a lot there. It would take a long time. We would probably have to do a whole podcast just for Madness to do it justice. But I can tell you that what we have upcoming, we are in the middle of a tournament because the former IDL champion Elijah Copeland was injured by Holden Ross. So now we have people who are lining up to fill that spot at the anniversary show, which will take place in January. It was last January that Madness started. So that is going to end up being a triple threat main event with Sierra Silver and Myra Rivers, a.k.a. the MILF of Madness, which she hates being called. And
I wonder why.
But now it's on the podcast.
Oh, no.
So, but, so we have like a little mini 8-man tournament to figure out who the third person in that triple threat is. And we started out with Chris Mosh and Molly Barnes going in that tournament. Mosh ended up taking the victory from Molly Barnes, so he's advancing to the next Madness that's upcoming. We had Jocelyn Spencer, Jason Cashe's, he calls her his woosah, his lady, went against Holden Ross and came up short, so Ross advances. Hide Yamazaki took on Lexi Gold and got defeated by Lexi Gold, so I know that's going to make the podcast folks happy. Lexi Gold is one of the final 4 in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And Vita Valentine also lost to spoiled Summer Page.
Ooh.
So yeah. And then in that main event we had Themis Palestra, who is not Osira, it's Agrippina and Desdemona Themis, sisters of Atara Themis, who are the reigning Gemini champions. That's the tag team championships on Madness. And they defended their gold against 2 broke chicks who are great characters if you ever check these guys out. Chi Sonata on Twitter is a lot of fun. And her partner.
Watch them on Hulu.
Watch them on Hulu. That's right. I don't know why you said that.
Because it's an actual show.
Chi Sonata. Oh, two broke chicks. Oh, I thought no, that's broke girls. 2 broke girls, isn't it? I don't know.
Okay.
And I think it was canceled like 3 years ago.
Longer than that, dude.
Oh my God.
I
It's
love
not them.
the idea that I accidentally gaslit Benny into thinking Chi-Chi Sonata was a real television show.
No idea what the hell you were talking about. Cat and I'm a huge Kat Dennings mark, so good for you for confusing me. But yeah, so we're moving next time. We're going to Ecuador because we're going on a equatorial tour. We just finished the tour of the Prime Meridian, so now we're going to hit the equator. We've got a Delta Division trios match because the trios titles are going to come back at the anniversary show.
Oh.
Yeah, so we've been working towards that slowly.
Definitely going to be something worth keeping in touch with.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think it just made sense because Madness, honestly, look, when you're doing an angled brand, right? A lot of people are attracted to angled stuff because they don't have to do any work. So you end up with a ton of people, and you got to find a little something for everybody. So it's almost like a little mini Fed of its own. Honestly, it's almost like just that separate from everything else. But Hide Yamazaki and Bitches Got to Learn taking on the Extreme Alliance. That's Darren Dangerous, Michael Graves, and Barney Green. So that's the Delta Division trios match that's happening there, and we'll see who ends up in the title match in the show after that. We have a massive eight team Gemini match. So this is 2 teams of 8 going against each other. You got the 2 broke chicks, the Juicy Dicks. That's Dick Powers and Little Juicy.
My boy.
Okay.
Mad Rhymes and the Disintegrators are taking on Themis Palestra. PWT, that's the Poor White Trash. The Bing Bong Twins and the Jessica Anderson and Kevin Mears, who's a friend of hers, and Summer Page. Usually Summer Page and Jess Anderson are a team as the privileged elite together, but Summer Page is in the tournament, so Kevin Mears is stepping in here.
Of course.
We have a
This
we have
is
a triple threat.
Sorry, just before
Yeah?
you go on, this is really interesting to me. So, aren't the Bing Bong Twins the sons of the Disintegrators?
Well, they are supposedly the sons of Johnny Twisted Steel,
Okay.
who is one of the Disintegrators. Yes.
Right.
That they're estranged.
Ah,
They're
I see.
estranged,
Okay.
Oh, it's unfortunate. I hate to see it.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Because bikers like the Disintegrators, they spend a lot of time in Daytona Beach.
Cranking the hogs.
Yeah, cranking the hogs. Just hitting, laying rubber to the road. But they didn't use rubber when they ran across the Bing Bong Twins' mom. So there is some debate over which Disintegrator actually is their father, but they believe it's Johnny Steele. We'll see.
Okay. That's interesting.
Like,
Maybe
oh
that
my
might be
god.
reference for the match.
Is
Lane,
this about to be the angle of the year 2023?
Could be. It's a slow burn. It's a real slow burn.
Who's the daddy of the Bing Bong Twins?
Lane, I don't
Somebody
say
is.
this often. Madness is my favourite thing in the world. I just want you to know that.
I'm glad. I'm glad somebody reads.
Can we please dub whoever the father of the Bing Bong Twins is? Can we dub them Daddy Bong?
I was going to say the Bing Bong Dad. But yeah.
The Bing Bong Dad. I love this.
It's really good.
The Ba Weep Gra Na Weep Ninny Dong.
Dad Bing Bong.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the Disintegrators to explode and have a ladder match for the custody of the Bing Bong Twins.
It's the opposite. It's the ladder match to not get
Loser takes him home match.
One of them owes a lot in back child support.
Yes, I was about to say, loser has to pay the child support.
That's great. That's so good.
Oh my god, it's worth multi-millions in back child support.
Goodness. Oh, so that's the big tag team clusterfuck going on there. We got triple threat. Kieran King in his second Madness match after going 40 to a 60-minute match with Universal Champion Mark Flynn last week in the opener, or last month in the opener. So now he's just in a random triple threat with Darcy Graves and Cheyenne Fire. They're fun. We have Juliana Mendoza and Johnny Miami. That should be a fun match. And then we have the death match. Every month in the Madness world, we have some form of Lord of Violence death match. And this one is the World Cup Lumberjack match. So it starts off with Jacki O'Lantern, who is the reigning Lord of Violence, taking on Thrax, who is the previous Lord of Violence. And everybody else is just around the ring. But they can, if somebody gets thrown out of the ring, one of the Lumberjacks can take their place.
Oh, that's really
Interesting.
good. That's a great
Yeah.
fucking step.
Yeah.
That is
So
Maybe
that's
maybe
fun.
we'll see one of the Lumberjacks win the new Lord of Violence title.
Exactly. So just look out for that. It's a little twist on the lumberjack situation.
And if I'm seeing this trend, I'm seeing anybody else might decide to show up as a Lumberjack as well.
It could be. It's not limited to the Lord of Violence division. Anybody who wants to show up can show up.
Ooh.
That's a
we'll see what
really
happens.
cool match. I love that.
That
Oh,
is
I
a great.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and as always, I have a nice little GIF in there with this one. I don't know, I'm not up on my Japanese wrestling, so somebody else is going to have to tell me who these Joshi ladies are. But they're hitting some electrified, exploding barbed wire, and I thought that was dope, so I put that on there.
I think one of them may be Bull Nakamo. I'm not too sure though.
It does look a little bit like Bull Nakano. It does look
Yeah.
a little bit like Bull Nakano, but
Yeah.
I don't really know. What else do we have? We have a tag match. No, so I mentioned earlier that Sierra Silver and Myra Rivers are two of the triple threat participants in the anniversary show. So here to kind of warm up for that, they're against each other in a tag match. So Sierra Silver is teaming with Vita Valentine, and Myra Rivers is teaming with Molly Barnes. And Molly and Vita were both eliminated from the IDL tournament. So they've really got nothing better to do, but they were in the conversation, so they've kind of earned their spot here. So that'll be a fun one. Just kind of a little preview. We got Josh Spencer taking on Elijah Martin. Elijah Martin, previously from Anarchy and other XWF brands, has moved over to Madness, so this is kind of his debut. And he's got a little history with Cashe and by proxy, Josh Spencer, so that could be fun. And then back to the tournament matches themselves, we've got the semis. The final four here is VIP Chris Mosh taking on Holden Ross and Lexi Gold taking on Spoiled Summer Page. Just to turn around immediately, and the winners of those two matches are going to be the main event against each other to determine that triple threat participant. So 2 matches in one night for whoever eventually goes on to the triple threat. I think it's fun stuff. In Quito, Ecuador, and a little nod to the World Cup that we just saw. Good job, Argentina.
Messi finally got his.
No, fuck
You're right,
Argentina.
Gator.
No, I'm not.
Is it too soon? Is it too soon?
I'm still not
It's
over.
not coming home.
No, I'm still not over Maradona with a handball. I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah, fuck Argentina.
That was messy. That was messy for sure.
Hey.
Hey, look, anybody who watched that, it's a match, right? A soccer match.
Yeah.
Anybody who watched that, I mean, you had to be rooting for Mbappe, right? I mean, you had to.
Oh yeah, he's fucking amazing. He's
I
probably
mean, I was ready
scored.
for Messi, but okay.
fucking.
He scored all the goals, right? He scored all four of those goals. He was balling
He
out.
did.
He did. He was fucking incredible in that match.
Literally, it was like 2 goals in the span of like what, 2 minutes?
Yeah, roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the penalty. I mean, that dude did everything he could do. But whatever. I mean, good for Argentina. Last time they won was the 80s. I know Messi's been to 4 World Cups, so awesome for him. And, you know, I think we have at least one handler that lives in Argentina, so he's probably thrilled.
Exactly.
But yeah, so there's Madness for you. I'm looking forward to that. I put a lot of work into Madness this year, so I'm glad that people enjoy it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. It's
Even
a
though the
great
matches
show.
are short, it takes a lot of work to put together.
No, exactly. Yeah. And it's a very fun show, and you should read it and just stop reading Anarchy altogether because it doesn't exist.
What's Anarchy?
Well, Anarchy is a different breed. Look, hey, it was a good idea. A lot of people, especially now, we're kind of getting closer and closer, right? Where the RP limits aren't as different as they once were, too. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But Anarchy's a fun brand.
Definitely a different vibe to it.
There are definitely folks who really can't write.
Holy shit, that's the coldest I've ever heard Mav on this fucking podcast.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Mav, go to your room and think about what you've said.
I just said there was a different vibe to it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, you just reached across the dinner table and slapped your father in the face.
Slapping a corpse, okay. Goddamn.
I want you to sit here and eat all of these peas and think about how you should talk to your dad.
Oh god. I love Anarchy too. When I remember it exists.
Whatever it is.
When he remembers it exists.
It's allegedly on Thursdays.
Allegedly.
I I only pay
The
attention
rumor
when the
is-
clown shows up anyway, so.
These accusations made against Anarchy will not be taken lightly.
Yeah, just remember that when you read it on Saturday, it happened on Thursday.
It's pre-taped. It's fine.
So we have some end of the year awards. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can go for
Why
that.
not? Let's do it.
We
Sure.
did mention it. I mean, we got a little bit of time. We got a few minutes left here. So this was something I did last year. We had never really done it before, right? We had never really kind of addressed end of the year stuff. We'd always just done RP of the month and star of the month, which, we obviously will continue to do that. But we never really went at the end of the year and just say, oh, what blew us away this year? So I did it last year. We did not quite as many, but it worked out fairly well. Did it a little bit different where we just did it all in one post today. So I don't know, Matt, do you want to kind of go through what I have here?
Sure. Let me just pull up the thread here. Okay, so we have several different categories here. So I'm just going to run through each of them from top to bottom. So we have start off with the pay-per-view of the year. So we have all the pay-per-views this year going on here. Fire and Ice, March Madness 4, Leap of Faith, War Games, Back to Relentless, and Bad Medicine, as well as the 2 interpromotional shows that featured heavily on XWF Talent and Work, such as the Cannabis Cup and the Denzel Porter Invitational. So some definitely strong shows here. We have the role play of the year. So obviously, with the amount of great work that we put out on a day-to-day basis, it's hard to really chronicle the best role plays to just nominate there straight up for the entire year. So what we've been doing is having separate threads going back to the role play of the month threads for each specific month, starting back from December of last year and just going head on and onwards. So it allows you to just go through everything right in one place.
And the reason I did that is because obviously the stuff that happened in December last year did not really get recognized for last year's end of the year stuff.
Exactly.
So it kind of rolls over. We hadn't determined the December 2021 RP of the month at that point. So I just wanted to kind of put it in here now. But yeah, to your point, I mean, obviously nobody's going to go back and read a year's worth of RPs and figure out which one was their first one. I doubt anybody wrote down their favorite back in April or May or anything like that. So it was just the links to all the different things that got nominated
Exactly.
to try and narrow it down.
Exactly. Next, we have the biggest OOC moment between Adding Madness, the podcast, revamping the tag RP rules, the announcement of the Savage and Warfare merge, and of course, the LFL return. We have the brand of the year between Warfare, Anarchy, Savage, Madness, and Cross Brands content. We have tag teams of the year: Flynn and the North Korean war criminal, the Midnight Dolls, Dolly Waters and Vita Valentine. Those no good bastards between Bobby Bourbon and Thunder Knuckles. We have Angie Vaughn and Maddie Jr., the odd couple tag team who've managed to capture the tag titles. We got the Thugs, Tommy Wish and John Black. We got Team KTFO, and we also got Themis Palestra. We have the newcomer of the year. Huh? You were saying something?
I would say those last two, those are Madness teams for anybody who maybe doesn't recognize them.
Yeah. Next, we have a large list here for newcomer of the year. We have Raion Kido. We have Goth. We have Peter Vaughn, who technically joined in 2021, but joined too late to be suggested for last year's end of year award, so he's going on this one. We have Bam Miller, Xavier Lux, Jason Cash, not Jason, Angie Vaughn, Isaiah King, Lexi Gold, and Buster Gloves. We have the returning star of the year between Mark Flynn, James Raven, Thad Duke, Dick Powers, Atara Themis, Bobby Bourbon, Chris Page, and hey, that's me, Finn Kuhn. We have the
a lot of people have pointed out to me that Mark Flynn had actually returned like in summer of 2021. I can't believe it. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like he did. I don't really know how else to put that. But I apologize if that's true. Alias says it's true, so I believe him because he's a very intelligent man.
Yeah, as it goes.
I think it might be because what you're thinking is like because Matt Flynn he didn't have a slow start like last year or anything like that, but he was like with No Korean War Criminal doing a lot of stuff there, and this year it's been more solo throughout the time. So I think that's what you're thinking.
Was thinking at the time, at the moment I was thinking because he was kind of just doing the NKWC stuff, and I like the dude came back after. I reached out to him on Instagram actually because he's a stand-up comedian. He's got a lot of funny shit. You should check him out at West Cornfield. And I just sent him like a DM one day, and I was like, "Oh man, we really miss Mark Flynn in the XWF." And then all of a sudden, he just showed back up in the XWF, and I was just like, "Oh man!" And like, it doesn't feel like that was that long ago.
Mm.
It doesn't seem like
I
that
get
happened
that, I
that
get
long
that.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
time flies when you're having fun.
exactly. But the dude's had a hell of a run. So if he didn't get recognized for something at the end of 21, he definitely should get recognized something this year. So
For sure, for sure. Now, continuing on, we have the OOC Handler of the Year between Chris Page, Atara Themis, Gator, Michael Graves, Charlie Nickles, those no good bastards, and hey, Denzel Porter. We also have the match of the year, so that's open nomination. Anybody can suggest any match they want because we've had a ton of good matches this year from top to bottom. We've got brand MVPs, 4 names, one for each of the XWF brands. So we have to figure out who was the best of the best of those regards. We have the Ned K of the year. So
Yep.
Lane, would you like to explain what this award is meant to represent?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, there are a lot of Ned Ks out there, but who was the best Ned K? I mean, who was the most notorious, the most nefarious, the most other words starting with N?
Nameless.
Well, I mean, I feel like there are a lot of good choices. There's myself,
We have
myself,
Vinny
the
Lane.
gorilla.
We have Vinny
Yeah.
Lane. We have the gorilla. We have Ghost Tank, and we have a small lump of green putty laying found in his armpit one midsummer morning.
It's a wonderful poem.
These nominated net Ks are pissing me off.
Well, maybe you should go defeat them.
I
He's
believe
got to reclaim his name and become not so nameless anymore.
Actually,
I'm
yeah.
not nameless. I just don't have a nickname.
Wait a minute, I remember something.
That means your name.
No, wait one sec. I won Ned K's name this year in Discord.
Yeah, you did.
Right.
Oh, this is true. Gator should
Yeah,
be
Gator is
included.
the true owner of Net K, and he's not even
Oh,
nominated.
no?
What is this bullshit?
That's right. That's why he's not.
Screwed.
I forgot that.
We can include him as a late nomination, I think.
I've been stumped.
Of course.
What about me?
Who?
Net K? You know, can I be nominated for Net K of the year?
I don't think so.
No, of course not.
Then wrapping things up, we have the Star of the Month with all of the Star of the winners for the year of 2022 so far.
Yeah,
Between
all the
Peter
star
Vaughn,
winners.
Star of the fucking late. It's late. My mind is melted.
It's
fucking
3 o'clock in
Star
the
of the
morning for me. I can read fine. Shut up.
It's tomorrow.
Fucking two. You're used to this shit. Fuck you. Fucking Star of the Month winners between fucking Peter Vaughn, Raion Kido, Bobby Bourbon, Charlie Nickles, Daniela Ray Weathers, Jason Cashe, North Korean war criminal, Michael Graves, Mark Flynn, Isaiah King, and Angie Vaughn.
Fucking
Who's that ringtone?
Mav's fucking
And
alarm.
Lane Throne.
Mav's alarm clock was going off. Tell him go bed.
Time to get tucked in and get a little kiss on the cheek.
He ate all of his keys.
Oh
Fuck.
dear.
Fuck all of you.
No.
They didn't have an award called Finn Kuhn of the Year and then not fucking nominate you for it. I want to hear it. So,
How are the votes? How are the votes going here? I want to check because that's all of the year-end awards. I think it's pretty comprehensive. I think we kind of covered a little bit of everything. I'm not going to make my votes public. I'm just going to add them in later because I don't want to affect anything. But even when I was writing them down, I kind of had ideas for all of them. So,
Right.
definitely nominating Ned K. Let's see. So Latina submission Machina said nothing. Oh, okay. So Leap of Faith was the pay-per-view of the year. The brand of the year she picked Savage, Flynn and North Korean war criminal for tag team. I mean that makes sense. Kido as newcomer. He's probably going to run away with that one, honestly. Who did he vote for here? Looks like he went for Atara.
No, he went
right?
Flynn. But I'm voting Flynn for some
Flynn. He
reason.
went for Flynn, and but he kind of fluffed up Atara in the process. Yeah,
Oh,
he
wait,
voted
no,
for
yeah.
Flynn. Handler of the year, he says Thunder Knuckles. That's a good pick. TK did a lot of stuff with the podcast, obviously, earlier in the year, and has always helped everybody and been very active and easy to talk to.
Yep, great guy.
Match of the year, he went with Flynn versus Kieran King. So that was cool. You know, I mean, that just happened, that Madness match. I mean, that was a dope match. That was pretty fun to read.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the brand MVPs, who Anarchy, it's Edward Jr., Strongest Warrior. Madness, Jacki O'Lantern. Yeah. Warfare, Ned K. Look at that.
Nice job, Ned.
And that fits in with the whole, Ned is warfare narrative, right? So, and Savage Raion Kido, he said Ned K of the year. He voted for the gorilla.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get ahead of this and just say that right now I've been written in once as Ned K of the year, and the two front runners for Ned K of the year are a literal gorilla and Jim fucking Johnson.
He strikes again. He strikes again.
You know what? That actually makes sense because a lot of times, and this is going back a while, but I would get your Discord and Jim's Discord confused all the time.
Jim has been Ned K for a very long time on Discord. That is true.
It's so true. Like, honestly, if any non-Ned K people deserve to win, it is Jim Jimson.
I think it's Jim Jimson. So yeah, that makes sense.
I'm rooting for him. Like, I'm rooting for me more, but I'm definitely rooting for him over a literal gorilla. Although I must give acknowledgement to Thunder Knuckles writing in the chameleon and spelling it wrong.
I feel like the chameleon.
Smoking Bob strikes again.
We have a lot of votes here. We got a good turnout on this. I'm glad to see it. So I won't read every single one of them or anything because there's like 10 other people put in their votes. But I'll compile that later, and at the end of the year we'll see who came out. But it's just fun. It's fun to recognize people especially in a little OOC way, because the of the month stuff is more of an IC thing, and I kind of see this more of just like a pat on the back for the IRL work that people are doing. And I will say I believe this next year, 2023, we are going to update the top 50 list as well, because I've been thinking probably doing that like every 2 years. So, and it's been 2 years, which is wild. We might revamp it a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So that's something that we'll work on. I don't know when I'll get around to it. Just sometime in 2023.
Can I be in the Hall of Legends then finally?
You were. Gator was inducted to the Hall of Legends.
Yeah, but I'm not on the actual fucking thread.
Yeah, because it happened after. Oh, you never got put in there.
Yeah, I never got put in the thing.
Yeah, that was James Raven's job. So.
Oh yeah, God damn it, James. We can say no to this. Do we want to give our opinions on like these awards, like who's going to win pay-per-view of the year, like a personal opinion and shit like that, or?
I can do that. I said, I mean, I think just as far as not saying what my vote is, right, but what I think people will pick. Like the pay-per-view of the year, it looked actually a couple of people already voted for the Denzel show and the Cannabis Cup, which is surprising because those are not XWF shows, right? But we were heavily involved in, and we put them on our forums, but they were not technically XWF shows. But a lot of people were into it and had a lot of fun with it, so that's not too surprising, I guess. I think, Relentless is always the front runner because it's the biggest one.
Of course.
So I figure that's probably got a leg up. Fire and Ice was very unique. We had a whole different concept there, so if people remember it, I think that could get some votes. But a year's a long time.
It is.
Role play of the year, I have no idea. Honestly, I think Ned's got a good chance with his video game RPs. Those are always like you didn't do one in 2022? I thought you did another one.
I did. So I did one, but it didn't get nominated for anything.
That's an oversight.
Yeah,
that's an oversight. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Honestly, I mean, it's just too much to choose from. I think the OOC moment, I think that'll just be the combination, the Warfare Savage combination. I think that's what people are going to go for. In my opinion, I mean, you think it's I mean, the podcast is that's a strong. I mean, a lot of people are into the podcast. Obviously, Goth.
Yep.
Shout out.
Goth, tell us what you think is going to win Brand of the Year.
What do I think?
Yeah,
Goth thinks.
Yeah, what Goth thinks.
What Goth is? I don't know.
Somebody give him his candy cane. Lane, what do you think? What do you think Brand of the Year will be?
I don't. I think probably Savage. I think people are going to vote for Savage.
I think so too.
That was probably just the favored one throughout the year, and that's it's fitting because it's going away, so I could see that. Tag team. We'd only had those first four, right? Flynn and NK, Midnight Dolls, and Angie and Maddie are the only 3 tag champs we had all year, which is
Damn,
wild.
that's mad.
Very
Jesus.
true.
TNGB was involved, but they didn't hold the titles this year, right? I don't think. If they did, they lost them pretty early. And the thugs are just always there.
Right.
And then Team KTFO and Team Palacio, those are the 2 teams who have held the Gemini championships on Madness. So I would think, I mean, Flynn and NK are on such a high. I mean, I think that's what people are mostly going to do, especially because they didn't lose the belts, right?
Right.
They kind
Flynn
of
was
just
stripped from them.
Yeah, they just dissolved it. So I mean, it's kind of hard to
Go
vote against them.
Yeah. I mean, if Flynn and NK were stripped of the titles, I mean, who knows what would have happened,
Right. They could have held them all year. We have no idea.
Exactly.
Admittedly, I am pulling for the Dolls, and
I was so into the Midnight Dolls. I was so into them as a team. I really wish that it lasted longer because I thought that was going to be really cool. Yeah. And I do think that they worked really well together, obviously, because they won in the first place, right? And I was pretty hype on them. So but it is what it is. Newcomer of the year. I mean, it's hard to argue against Raion Kido.
Yeah.
For sure.
But again, Isaiah King's on there. Angie Vaughn has done really well. Buster Gloves has done really well. Lexi Gold has done really well. I mean, there's a lot of people on there. Peter Vaughn, again, end of 21. Same with Bam and Xavier and Cashe, really. They were all end of 21. But they've all done really good stuff in their way. Yeah. But I think people are probably. I mean, how do you argue against Raion Kido? Really, the guy had an amazing rookie year.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Returning star of the year. Again, I know there's controversy with Flynn. I don't know, because so many of these guys kind of were gone for a little bit. Honestly, I think Finn being back has been awesome, not just for RPing, but also for podcasting. So, I mean, I think he's got a pretty good chance.
I appreciate it. I think Atara is probably going to be the most likely to do it because, I mean, as you said, Flynn has the old controversy of actually returning last year. And I mean, Atara is really well liked with a lot of what she does, both in character with her role plays and out of character with her graphics and helping out on Twitter and everywhere else. I mean, she came back out of nowhere. And I mean, she gave Raion Kido a hell of a match. He was still on top of the world. I mean, she won the Extreme Championship. I think it's hard to make a case for outside of Atara right now.
Yeah.
She had a great return. I mean, and a lot of these guys were only kind of gone to begin with, just gone a little bit. So, but I would say the Fed's probably going to lean a little bit towards Themis. I could see that. OOC Handler of the Year, and you mentioned why Atara's on there. Gator, obviously. I mean, come on, all the graphics Gator does for the Fed, all the things he does, the podcast stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to ignore any of that. Gravy's kind of the same way. Gravy does a lot of stuff for Madness that most people probably don't realize. He does all that Lord of Violence stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and a lot of the graphics and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he's a guy that you can always count on.
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of Paige obviously did kind of got us running with all the podcast stuff and all the multimedia stuff. Really did a lot of work getting interfed things going and getting the XWF brand name out there in other feds and other people's headspace. So there's a lot of stuff to choose from. Denzel puts us over really, really well.
Yeah.
and just from an IC standpoint, people like Nickles, TNGB, I mean, they're very well known entities, and
Right.
if they're known, that means we're known. So
Yeah.
match.
Gator is the eternal handler of the year in my heart.
No.
Aw, he's my bestie above the resties.
Oh.
Big priest.
The cunt to Micah.
That's right.
I-
He's the sickest cunt. The sickest
The
cunt.
sickest gun.
Exactly.
I do find it like hard. It's like you put Denzel Porter on a list. Like I would 100% vote for him straight away because of the amount of work he does and the like kind of getting a little bit serious. He gets way too much shit like
He does.
nonstop, and it's not
True.
deserved because he's such a fucking great guy and does so much fucking work. And yeah, I would vote for him 100% of the time.
Yeah, I had to step in it recently because somebody kind of came at him on there, so I had to put on my shit kickers for a few minutes and spend a day. But that was fun, honestly. I kind of liked it. It's almost like a sport because I'm kind of good at that shit.
Yeah. Turns out that running the XWF with some of the trashier parts of 2016,
Yeah.
still
Y'all gonna turn me back into the old me.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
Oh
I
god.
want the old thing straight from the goal lane.
Yeah. Let's see what we do. Match of the year was next. I will tell you that from a purely selfish perspective, I really had a good time putting together when I wrote that the ladder match at Relentless, the Madness ladder match. So that was like my
That was
favorite
fun,
thing
yeah.
that I did.
It
That was my
fun
favorite
match.
thing that I personally did over the years. So hopefully people liked it. But there were, like you said, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of good matches. So who knows? Brand MVP. I mean, Anarchy. I got to give it to Ruby. Everybody's going to give it to Ruby, reigning champ, 4-timer. I mean, she's synonymous with the brand.
I think, like what was mentioned down below, that I think Edward also deserves a shout.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really helping out Anarchy.
Yeah.
along.
Edward was very popular there in like the second half of the year, or like
Mhm.
the last third of the year, I should say. I think.
What brand are you talking about?
Yeah,
The mystery brand.
the mystery brand. Yeah, Sunday Night Anarchy. It's honest. It's hard for me to really think of what people are going to do for the primetime brands, Warfare and Savage. I mean, obviously, I think they're going to put Flynn and Kido in there in some combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go
I think-
Kido, Savage. I kind of agree with what was said before as well with Ned on Warfare as well.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And of course,
I mean,
Darren
Madness,
Dangerous
I
for
mean-
Madness.
Darren Dangerous. Yeah,
Darren
clearly.
Dangerous, 100%.
And
I
I
mean, the
mean,
guy-
personally, for Madness MVP, I don't think you could really go wrong with the man, the myth, the legend, Darren Dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
He used a forklift.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. He wasn't even certified to ride one, and he got one in there. What a guy!
Yeah. He had to go get licensed for that. That's not something that you can just do off the cuff.
Exactly.
Forklift certified, deathmatch mortified.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know.
Let me
I
see.
thought,
Ned K.
sorry, I thought you were going to say Faultless Certified. It could be Darren Dangerous' new nickname. That's great.
I think it's a good nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see.
who do you guys think
Ned
is
K of the year? It's got to be the Gorilla, Ned K of the year.
No, absolutely.
likewise?
Who else could it possibly be?
A small lump of green pie laying out of his armpit one midsummer morning?
No.
That is the if you listen to that poem, your lower intestine will actually leap into your throat and strangle you to death.
Oh my.
I may do that after this podcast.
You guys don't know Douglas Adams, I guess. It's not a Hitchhiker's Guide guy.
I do. I like Hitchhiker's Guide.
So
Star of the
defeated.
year. Star of the year. I think Star of the year. I think people are going to vote for Mark Flynn for Star of the year probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's him or
definitely hard to
Kido.
go against.
Maybe Vaughn.
Him or Ki-
Like
Kido, I could see. I mean, King, obviously he hasn't lost. I could see King. But yeah, I think they're going to go in that direction because I mean, really, what else have we had? You had those two, Kido and Flynn, and you had Alias, and those were like the only uni champs, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Alias isn't like I get it, but it does feel kind of weird to be in a year where Alias was uni champ and he's not a star of the month.
Yeah, and I
He's
think
not a star of the month.
I think I just didn't list him because 21 was like obviously his
Yeah.
just all of it.
Yeah.
Like the entire year in every capacity was just Alias.
Yeah,
Alias all the time.
the Alias show.
But he could certainly be worthwhile of a vote. I don't remember when was it he dropped the title at the Cannabis Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was I don't remember when that was. Is that like May or June, something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was the same month as War Games, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I remember it was conflicting a little bit with one of our shows.
Yeah, I think it was War Games. I'll double check right now, but I'm pretty confident it was that same month.
That makes sense. Because War Games always get screwed over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Okay,
But yeah.
it was July. It was July.
It was in July. Okay. But he didn't start the year. Did he start the year as Unichamp?
I think so.
I believe he did, yeah.
So he was Unichamp for most of the year, and then yeah, his name should probably be on there. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
But
Actually,
sorry, Alias.
Alias wants to know your location.
Oh
Or it
no, he
could have
didn't
been
actually start the year as Unichamp because
Peter Vaughn, right?
Yeah,
It was Peter
because
Vaughn.
Oh, Speedy.
Vaughn was feuding with Cadis. Yeah. That's how the.
How about this wicked new poster that we have on the front page that starts out as being the brands and then just completely disappears if you're 45 years old like me and can't see.
Yay. It's an eye trick.
Oh.
But I was like, why do we do that? There's nothing there.
And then he just squint really hard and just like, oh, that's where it is.
Oh, yeah, there's
Yeah.
Matt Flynn screaming at me in the snow.
There he is, completely naked.
Yeah.
Completely butt naked.
I'm really happy with that poster, even though it is more or less completely white.
It's very cool, but yeah, the immediate thing is like almost like, is there something wrong?
Yeah,
Like,
I love it. I think it's the best thing I've done.
It reminds me of like the cover of that one Amazing Spider-Man. That's just the silver.
Ah,
I had that.
Okay.
I had that when it came out. Can you believe that?
That's good.
Yeah.
I had it on cardstock and in a little plastic bag and everything, and then I threw it away.
Take
Well,
that, Peter.
The inspiration for it was the album by Kings of Leon, Youth and Young Manhood, because Redwood Morning Light came on my fucking Spotify radio shit, and I was like, oh, that was a good album. And I looked at the album and I was like, oh, I'm going to make a poster like that.
You confused me because I thought you were saying that Spider-Man cover was inspired by Kings of Leon, and I was like, that does not make chronological sense. My friend.
I have not seen. I don't think I've seen that Spider-Man cover. Actually,
it was in the 90s. That was like 94, 95, something like that. Yeah. Back when Todd McFarlane first started writing Spider-Man, that was like his first issue.
Ah, right, okay.
And then he did the exact same thing with Spawn. He had him like in the same exact position and everything.
Whoa, what?
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
Todd McFarlane copied his own fucking positions, his weird, shitty positions constantly.
He plagiarized himself.
Wow. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Just cut out everybody's whiz butt lane and just make him look like a dementia patient.
I wish.
I only, I don't like to ask Gator to do too much editing wise, but I hope when you do go back, when we get to the part where Ned's talking about how much it means to him to close out Warfare, if you just put like a little violin playing in the background. Just like something real sad.
I'm going to say this now as well. Anything you want me to edit in, just ask me to, and I will do it. So it's fine. And I will do the violin part. Don't worry.
I just want to keep pushing Gator to see what the man can do, because I didn't think the Simpsons thing was going to happen. I was like, that's not possible, and then it was there.
I did not think it was possible either, and then life finds a way. So
yeah,
just made it work.
You're gold blooming.
Yeah. God creates man, man creates podcast.
Podcast creates Simpsons intro.
Oh my god, that's how we should end this. God creates man creates podcast. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, happy Halloween. Happy Walpurgisnacht. Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy
to everybody out there.
Christmas.
We wanted to give everybody a little surprise. We weren't going to do a podcast until January, but we wanted to come together in the spirit of the holiday season and make you listen to us talk for 2 hours, which is the most charitable thing that we can give you. We hope you appreciate it. Ned, we love you too. Merry
Well,
Christmas, Ned. I know
we
you're
love
not
you,
going to get
Ned.
anything from your actual mother, so maybe I'll send you something.
Oh, thank you.
Like a
Thanks,
$20 Steam gift card, or I don't fucking know what you do in your spare time.
Oh god.
So no,
Maverick,
I love
Maverick, my buddy, going back for
Hi.
years. Very happy. My fellow New Jerseyan. Yeah. I hope you don't get too much coal in your stocking.
If I do, I'll be sure to just fucking bash Chris Page in the head when I'm in the chamber match.
Ouch, brother. Why would you do that? Chat me up. And obviously, me and Gator go back forever to when Gator was still living in that orphanage, like Oliver Twist. So he finally got more drool.
He was walking on comically tiny crutches.
Right? Just tiny little ricket things, because he lives in England, so he has polio or something. I don't know.
I was about to say the same fucking thing. What the hell?
The same brain cell.
Oh,
It was real.
So as we're signing off here, Elaine, do you have anybody else you'd like to wish a very happy Christmas to?
I would actually like to sing. I'd like to dedicate this to Ghost Tank, who's always on my mind. Have a fucking awful Christmas, you giant piece of shit. I hate your face. I hope you die and fall off of a cliff. That's all I thought of. Fuck off, Ghost Tank.
And Happy New Year.
God bless us, everyone.